Salute, salute, salute. What's up with y'all, man? Not gonna keep you too long. We're gonna chop it up about this though. Um, Mall High salute to the riders, Colorado based, you know what I'm saying? All the family. So this weekend, August 9th, there's a basically a fan rally for the season. Um, let me just shut this door real quick. You want to go outside? You want to go out? Go on. All right, Mile High salute, Mile High salute. Let me see real quick. What it do? What it do? What it do? So with the Rotters, man. What's good with it? My TTC fam, what's cracking with you, buddy? Mile High salute. So, we're getting closer to football season. Football season's amongst us. We got a preseason for Broncos this weekend. I think every NFL team got a preseason game this weekend. And in the city of Denver, if you're out here or you can get out to the city of Denver, there is basically a rally for Bronco Gang and Broncos Country, right? And if you don't know what Broncos Gang is, it's pretty much a big chapter in a movement of Bronco fans from across the United States that represent this right here that's on the screen, Bronco Gang, right? And a couple of the top chapters, they created this basically a family of Broncos Country. If you you know what I'm saying, if you're about that, like if you like to basically tailgate and pull up to parties all together and just different thing, they do this annual Bronco Gang weekend. So a little rundown about this whole situation is that at first I really didn't get along with this whole thing called the Bronco Gang, because when I was growing up, we used to call ourselves Bronco Gang back in the day when I was like in middle school and high school. And it was just a gang of diehard Bronco fans that I actually grew up with. So when they came out with this, and they basically turned it into like a movement, because this is really what it was. It was a movement of diehard Bronco fans basically coming under one rag and moving together, you know what I'm saying, for the fan base in Broncos Country. When I first heard this, I was like, hell no, I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying? I'm not joining none that sounds like some shit like that. And I really honestly at first didn't really get along with these dudes from Bronco Gang, because of just there was kind of like they had a rules and regulations of Bronco Gang. And I was like, man, hell no, fool. I'm Savage said, bro. I don't follow rules and regulations when it comes to the fan base. I am Broncos Country. And I started running into people from the city of Denver, and they were doing their thing, you know, and they put it together. And a lot of the feedback from people that were actually down with this was that it was just a big old family of Bronco fans. Now, they started putting it out there, you know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about taking over like stadiums. I'm talking about they used to travel to visiting games, and it would be the Bronco Gang, and they'll invade stadiums when they go on the road. And it was cool to have a place where Broncos Country could all come together, and they all could actually turn up for road games, and they would have big old prayer rallies. Well, they do this every year, and this weekend is Bronco Gang cookout / Bronco weekend. And I'll show you a video, kind of what the dude Mad Fanatic, he kind of created this with a couple other people. He's not from Colorado, he's from Connecticut. But it's never too late to actually check out what I uploaded. OG, I got you. I'm gonna check it out, definitely. It's never too late, especially if you about, you know what I'm saying, Phantom, to actually basically, you know what I'm saying, start connecting with other Broncos country. And, you know, maybe this is something that you guys would actually want to be a part of. When you make a decision to be in Bronco gang, you get a flag and everything, you know, and get updates to Bronco cookouts and the tailgates that they have. They have big old parties, and you know what I'm saying? They're always looking for new membership of Broncos country that's really diehard. So this weekend it's going down. If you're kind of interested and maybe it's something that you actually might want to be a part of, you know, they're having a big cookout, man, at Cherry Park in Littleton. Come see what it's about. Homie's going to be performing. They got barbecue. They got a big old flag football game that's going on. I think they're doing giveaways for school. And it's kind of cool, bro, to, you know what I'm saying, like embed in the community like that. Because if you're a Bronco fan, you definitely want to embed with other Bronco fans that are diehards, you know, move in, you know, a unit. I didn't join the Bronco gang till like a year ago, to be honest. Me and my wife, you know, we just do us, BCFFL, but went to one of these dudes' concerts at it was at one of the bars out here, and they turned up. And let me be real with you. I didn't really understand these dudes and what they kind of did until I got over there and seen it in person, how unitized these dudes are. And it was like that. If you a real Bronco fan and you really are about, you know what I'm saying, the family of Broncos country, it might be something you guys actually might give a chance to. You know what I'm saying? Come see what's up. What time are you going to be till there on Saturday? So it starts at 3, bro. I'm going to be there for a couple hours because I'm watching the game, preseason game, but he's doing a big old rap concert to promote his new album because he does music, you know what I'm saying, for the Broncos. And pretty much, bro, it's going to be a listening party, and then I'm going to the house to watch the preseason. So let's see, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, if y'all in the city of Denver.
This is for the Bronco game.
So this is the dude that actually created his name's Mad Fanatic.
It stays on the 24.
So if y'all interested in something like this, man, let's go.
This is for the Bronco game.
It stays on the 24/7.
It's what it stands for, being a real fan and really being into it.
To me, Bronco Gang is a family. It's a bunch of diehard fans that love the Broncos just like me. I never saw the word gang as a negative thing. It's more than just a gang, in my opinion. It's really a family.
I got mine, the Bronco Gang. Where's yours?
We try to represent nothing but positive values, from the symbols on the crest to the people we're trying to feed, to the awareness we're trying to bring, to fan violence.
We got 3 rules that we live by.
One is
no bandwagons, no fair weathers, and no violence.
Fan violence is whack. Being a diehard repping your team is dope, you know what I mean? But intruding on other people and making it uncomfortable to go to games so people can't bring their kids, stuff like that, getting into fights, getting belligerent, that's not cool. That's not something I condone.
Now,
gang.
One big thing is when you join this type of, like, it's basically a big booster club, a brotherhood of Bronco fans, this type stuff. They ask you pretty much, what do you think about them 3 ideas? And I grew up for myself, man. Like, I'm more of a, I guess you would say, an extremist when it comes to Broncos country. I've got physical over Broncos country and fools disrespecting the Broncos. But that was one big reason why at first I just didn't agree. Like, because you can't tell me, I'm from city of Denver, bro. I'm not going to listen to nobody that ain't South Standard material. They will jump you if you want to be in the game. Nah. They don't jump you. No, it's not. It's not that, bro. I know you probably get the misinterpreted gang. Pretty much, it's just a big old diehard family. You know what I'm saying? And they ride under one rag. He created the rags right there. You get when you actually join the Bronco gang, you get actually their rag right there. You know what I'm saying? And you get all the locations of parties. You get all the invitations to all the Bronco gang cookouts, and they have a lot of stuff going on. And it's not just Colorado, it's across the USA. So they have, and like if you're in a different city and you're a Bronco fan in California or you're a Bronco fan in Kansas City, you can actually connect with other Bronco fans from them areas. You know, they give you like an app and stuff. And I had a conflict with this fool Matt Fanatic, the one that started this, because I had told him, like, you know what I'm saying, like, sometimes I have fought over the Broncos, and he didn't like that. So me and him didn't see eye to eye on it. But in reality, we all root for the same team, Broncos country. And you know, there's power in numbers, Broncos country. When you're at the games and you go to the games and you're at home games, bro, you want to connect with other diehard Bronco fans. This right here, these are the tailgates that you want to be in. This is where the most diehard fools are at these fools' tailgates. And we made a decision after the concert. Like, you guys gotta come experience the experience and see what it's all about. We made a decision, and it was pretty cool, bro. It was pretty cool to see, you know what I'm saying, the movement and what they did. Let me see. I'll go with the Broncos fans. Which fan base is the most violent? I don't know. I think when alcohol's in play, bro, I think honestly any fan could be violent. To be honest, I think alcohol brings out the worst in people. You know what I'm saying? But I would have to say Philadelphia Eagles.
From the foundations that
Philadelphia Eagle fans are probably
homeless to the people that we bring together.
If you're in Denver and you don't know about the Bronco Gang or the Matt Fanatic, then you know you're definitely missing out.
It's a coast-to-coast thing, you know, for me so far. I mean, I know that there's people overseas that are actually part of this also. So
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. See this right here. You see this right here. This is not in Denver, Colorado. This is in Seattle. So when they had a game in Seattle, the Bronco gang invaded that Seattle complex, and they all met up. So this is kind of what the Bronco gang does, you know, and that's kind of actually pretty dope. So you know what I'm saying? It's a cool meet and greet for road games. And you know, it's to actually interact with all the Bronco fans from across America, because this is the thing, and this is another thing that I didn't really realize, homie. You got the passion that went out to all kinds of different states, and I didn't really realize like how big the fan base really expands to. And you got Bronco fans in all 50 states. That's just the bottom line. And this app that he has, that he put out here, you can connect with all them Bronco fans in your city and state. You know what I'm saying? So it's a cool aspect to maybe on a Sunday, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you're not in Colorado, you can meet up with other Bronco fans from the state year round, and y'all could go watch the game together, you know? And pretty much he explains it right there.
I mean, I know it's a coast-to-coast thing, you know, for me so far. I mean, I know that there's people overseas that are actually part of this also. So this isn't just a little thing. We're starting a revolution here. I mean, this is big.
With these people, you know, they're just like you. It makes you feel more part of a family.
We have an entire family in Bronco Gang, 3 generations. It appeals to all those people. Bronco fans, they're not like any other fans. They're diehard, passionate fans that love the team.
How much is that, Elway?
$1,300.
What if we could just bottle it up and put it in something like this group, this idea, this app, this website, and we can make it available to everybody so we can all be part of this network and be connected to each other all the time.
I am dropping. I've been a Broncos fan since 2008 when the Army brought me out to Colorado. I'm senior cloud engineer for a Fortune 100 company, mobile app development. I would say I've been doing it for maybe 10 years, full-time developing apps for the last 4. The Bronco Gang app allows those of us that are those hardcore, diehard fans to talk to each other, even when we're separated by continents.
The problem that the Bronco Gang app is going to solve is knowing where there's other Bronco fans in your area. That's the biggest one. And being able to actually reach out to them, like click their profile, see who they are, and send them a message like, yo, You want to go hang out with me? You want to watch a game? Or even in the offseason, just want to talk about something, even outside of football.
It's your boy AC, Bronco Gang all day.
Bronco Gang!
I want us to be the kind of fans that represent in a way that the other teams say, wow, there's some good fans.
I need to get on board now.
Where's your flag?
So that's going down this Saturday, man. If you guys want to pull up and see what it's about, they're having a function at Cherry Park. It's going to be at Cherry Park, Thornton, Colorado at 3 p.m. They're going to have food. They're going to have flag football game giveaways. They're going to have a concert for the kickoff of his new album. And, even if you're not in Bronco Gang and you really haven't even heard about it, and it might be something you're interested because you like to connect for games and you like to, tailgate. You like all the functions of Bronco family and, intermingling with other Broncos country. And you want to be at the events on game day and not just going to the game, but you want to actually turn up with real tailgaters and South Standers. Maybe this is something that you actually come and see what it's about. It's going to be a fun atmosphere to kick off the football season. And like I said, hey, what's up, Big Jazz? Small high salute. Like I said, for myself, bro, like I'm a pioneer of kind of the hardcore South Stander mentality. I hold my own in the best. I'll go anywhere and I'm gonna represent the Broncos, and that's just kind of my mentality. And for a long time, the Bronco Gang was out there. I didn't like the get down because it was just kind of one of them things. It's like, I'm bigger than the program. I felt like, I'm the most diehard Bronco fan out there. And I really just didn't want to be a part of anything that came after the generations of me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to be a part and labeled as pretty much somebody that joined some shit that came way after me being born and riding for the Broncos. And I was resistant to it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, I'm not going to join. What? I am the Broncos. I am Broncos country. That's just how I felt. But I started seeing them actually do their thing, bro. And like, this is the thing is they had a lot of energy in the Bronco Gang, and what they were doing was kind of cool. And like I said, I didn't get along with the main creator for a long time. I didn't like him. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not from Denver originally. And he kind of had these rules, but there's always has to be rules and regulations and things if you want stuff to run in a proper manner. So I gave it a chance, bro. And you know what I'm saying? Me and my wife are both members of Bronco Gang. And, it's my duty to actually promote it if that's what we doing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just like the commodity of family, Broncos country. And we'll actually be at that event this Saturday. So if you in the city of Denver, definitely come and pull up and come say what's up and come see what it's all about. And maybe if you like it, you could you know what I'm saying, stamp your invitation into Bronco Gang. I know for the flag's sake and the material that he puts out there, and he has gear, he has jackets, he has all kinds of stuff. For all the stuff like the movement and the music and all that, for the app that you get, it's a $20 enrollment of this. And I know people be like, money in this, but in the long run, you know what I'm saying, you get access to all the events, you get access to the Bronco Gang store, you get access to, you know what I'm saying, the Bronco Gang weekends, and it's pretty dope. So what I'm gonna do next? What up with it, Rada? How you doing? Enjoying practices with my Niners today. G, that's what's up. Yeah, we definitely got a game this preseason, and that's why this time frame. Hey, so Jess, try to pull up to the Bronco Gang weekend this Saturday, bro. It starts at 3, Cherry Park. Mad Fanatic is actually pretty much he's doing he's doing basically his new songs and new situations for Bronco Gang. So he's doing a free concert and everything. Play what I uploaded, OG. Is it on your thing? All right, let's see real quick. Is it this is what you're talking about? Hey, I'm gonna say it like this, man. No disrespect to anything, bro, but I'm not involved. I'm not in the middle of all that, man. Y'all are crazy. Hey, Ball High Salute, I'm gonna watch it, bro, but I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not in the middle of all the beefs and shit, bro. But it looks funny, homie. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you though, my bro. Shout out to you. So I'm gonna do this one last little thing, and then I'm gonna leave you guys to be. Bronco Gang weekend, man. It's going down this Saturday. This is kind of gonna be longer. I'm not gonna really talk through it, but it's gonna show you how pretty much it was created. And I have played this before, so check this out. Y'all have a good rest of your weekend. Check this out, what it is, what it's all about, and he's going to kind of break it down of what he created. It's kind of a long video, but you know, this is just more information on what the Bronco Gang is.
Situation if they don't know your situation, if they don't know how dire it is. If they don't know that, then nothing happens, Joe.
It was crazy challenging, but it was also the most enjoyable, the most fulfilling, the most rewarding. It was like the most memorable. Was the one I'll probably remember for the rest of my life.
You know, if there's one thing that you'd like to have and you want to feel is at least in the last game, you want to feel like you go out kicking and screaming. And you know that you're right there. And I think 2 years in a row didn't feel like we went out. So the year of the horse season ended with a disappointing loss no one was expecting to the Colts, first round exit for the Broncos. And I remember being in the stands and being like, why is this crowd so dead, man? After the game, we got to my boy Bingham's house, and I said to him right then and there, I said, I got to get in the stadium. But it was right after the year of the horse lost that we decided that we haven't been doing enough. We got to get in the stadium where we can have the biggest impact. Once we decided to do that, we started to work out the details. We figured we were going to do an actual campaign, call it Get Louder in the Stadium, do an online petition where people could sign it, and the Broncos get an email like, hey, I want to hear this music in the stadium. I think it'll help the team win. And every time someone signed it, they get the album for free. So once we were clear on that, we got the domain, did all that technical stuff, and we just started working.
I be in my work shoes, because I be out here working. I'm trying to be the best that does what I do, so I got to put that work in.
You know, you got to be all the way turned to Adler. Got all the cameras on the kid. Woo, feeling a little bit intimidated. Whoa. Let me you got to stop pushing the button. That's what's hurting my ear. That is a button. It's your volume coming here, too. I love ad-libs. This is literally the most fun of the whole joint. What up? Okay, that sounds good. Let's chill. Okay. Houses, studios, fences. Do it again. Could I say magnificent? I love doing them dumbass ad-libs with big words. That's just the illest. My team. Going down like now let me do like 3 stacks of that. Exactly same. Watch. You gonna see it. My team. This nigga's on a low key. That's how key do. Going down like gravity. My whole team full of stars like the galaxy. Yeah, big one since day one. I mean, I've been around with before the magazine. Put it on the line.
mind for my crew. Every day I grind for my dudes.
Brand
I
creator.
didn't stop rap. I never stopped rapping.
Yes, you did.
I just don't put it out to the world like that.
It's the first time I've ever heard Key rap. And that shit was sick. If the video man could fucking rap like that, the DJ got to.
Like at first, everything was going good. I was 4 songs in, everything was going fine, right? But then it was like all of a sudden it hit me that like I was broke. Christmas time, I remember I didn't have any money to get my daughter presents for Christmas. I didn't have money to buy my wife anything for Christmas. I started kind of reflecting on like my situation and thinking like, yo, you've been doing this for years and you're still like super broke, like worse than when you had a job. You know what I mean? When you were just doing a 10 an hour forklift job all day, you're worse off than you were then. And you have thousands of fans and you know how many people are running up, kids are asking for autographs and stuff. So it was starting to make me feel a little depressed. I got in my feelings really, really bad, but I was on a month-to-month lease and I'm 3 months behind. And I'm literally at the point where like my landlord works downstairs. There's a salon downstairs. So when he's coming to work and stuff, I'm like hiding, making sure I'm not in the window. I'm trying to make sure I don't even cross paths with him because I'm like, what am I going to tell him? I don't even have an answer. That's where I'm at. I'm stressing like crazy. I got a gray hair for the first time. I'm only 29 at the time. And I was just like, you know what? I can't do this no more. I told Tina, and then I called Kevon, I called Coach, and we had a 3-way conversation. And I told him like, listen, I know that you guys have invested a lot of time into this. It's been years of this. I know like Kevon did like at that time, he had already done like probably close to 100 music videos without being paid. And Coach had done 3-4 albums worth of music. Like, and in the beginning, remember, he was making all the music. And it was just like, damn, yo. And these are talented people that are already at the point where they can be compensated for their work. So I'm feeling like they're counting on me to succeed so that it can all be worth it. I'm feeling the pressure of my wife's counting on me to be straight because she's investing her belief in me and making a lot of sacrifices. My kids, they don't even know no better. They don't know what Christmas is off the rip. I remember saying to Key, like, it was just basically a wine fest. It was like me saying like, yo, I gotta quit. I can't do this no more. It's bad because I was feeling like that. Key's like kind of barked on me like, listen.
This video is letting them know the actual situation and saying, listen, if you believe in me like you say you believe in me, then help me continue this dream. Someone can't help your situation if they don't know your situation, if they don't know how dire it is, if they don't know that you're not lightheartedly saying I'm quitting, you're actually about to quit. If they don't know that, then nothing happens, Joe. That's what all this is for. That's what this GoFundMe is for, to let people know the actual current situation.
Yo,
that we need your help.
I'm willing to do the GoFundMe. I'm willing to sit there and embarrass myself and put my pride aside and basically beg a bunch of fucking strangers on every social media platform to help me because I'm on food stamps and behind on my rent. I'm willing to do that. I'm just telling you that I'm not doing it with any conviction or any faith that it's going to work.
Coach was actually coming down from Atlanta, and you guys, like, people don't understand how much of a grind that year was for us. You know what I mean? And it, like, even now, I can't even picture being at that point where I would grind that hard, which it makes me like inspired by who I was a couple years ago. You know what I'm saying? And who my team was, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Coach took a bus, a China bus, like $20 from Atlanta to Connecticut to have an interview with me in the studio so we could talk about the album. Like, that was the level of commitment we were like doing for shit. Like, that's not going to make that big of a difference. You know what I'm saying? But it was like, it was that important to us that we made a video talking about the album to promote it. A free album at that. You know what I'm saying? So he comes down. I'm supposed to be showing him the songs, and I'm showing him the songs, the 4 that I did, and I'm just doing them so poorly. Like, I'm pressing play and I'm rapping them, and I'm just, you could tell I don't mean a word I'm saying. I'm totally not where I was when I recorded the songs. I'm in this funk where I'm watching Rocky every day, trying to get inspired, trying to get motivated, trying to become positive. And I was like, you know what, Coach, let me show you this song I've been working on, though.
just for myself. I was never going to put it out for anybody. I just needed to vent, because that's what music is for me sometimes. It's like therapeutic.
Spirit, you be so broke, your spirit starts to feel broken. You ever been in that position? That's kind of where I'm at right now. My current situation is crazy. I'm starting to get impatient. I'm really getting sick of waiting. I jumped out the window later with my face on the pavement. Lord, with amazement. I genuinely thought that I would make it. Who was I kidding? Now every other day I'm thinking about quitting, but while I'm on the floor, I'm doing push-ups, trying to get strong and not sure that I can do this much longer. I'm running out of stamina. Maybe I just need a manager. The music sound professional, but I can still amateur. Smiling for the camera, cause I don't want to let them see me sweat. I told myself that I would never have regrets, so I chased my dream full force. When ambitions of world tours, see this movie that told me the world's yours, and I believed it. Wholeheartedly before, but that was then. Nowadays I'm not so sure, Lord, I know I gotta get through it, to get to it, but I'm not sure I can do it, cause right now I'm going through it, and I'm starting to lose my will. It's hard to have a dream when that dream don't pay the bills, Lord, I know I gotta get through it, to get to it, but I'm not sure I can do it, cause right now I'm going through it, and I'm starting to lose hope. It's hard to hold it all together when you're always broke. When you're struggling with finances, and you're struggling to find answers, the only thing you left with is questions. Then them doubts start creeping in. Then you start to wonder, can I even win? Hold up, who's that looking at me funny? Oh, that's just my landlord, he's looking for his money. And I'm trying to find a way to get it, but it's like it's playing hide and seek. I'm a couple months behind as I speak. I've been ducking them since Thursday. Man, I'm stressing in the worst way. I'm only 29 and got my first break. I'm really thinking about quitting. I got a family now, so my situation's different. Can't deal with the pressure of being the victim. Maybe with a 9 to 5, I can at least get them presents on Christmas. I'm mean bugging because I'm a will. Plus, it's hard to crack a smile when you're truly broke. Lord, I know I gotta get through it. Ready to get to it. But I'm not sure I can do it because right now I'm going through it and I'm starting to lose my will. It's hard to have a dream when that dream don't pay the bills. Lord, I know I gotta get.
Kevon ends up using that verse and the conversation we had when we were on the phone. He videotapes it. He's at his house. He just has the instinct to just videotape his cell phone. You know what I'm saying? You even hear in the video start, you hear the focus thing and everything. You know what I mean? In the audio. And he videotapes his cell phone and then uses the footage from such a raw performance clip in the studio that, like, you might not be able to tell from the video, but like I was getting chills. Coach was getting chills. People getting teary-eyed. Like it was real. And I was trying to keep a straight face, like I said in the song, smiling for the camera because I don't want to let him see me sweat. But it was so raw. And when Key decided, yo, that's gonna be the video. And once I saw it, because I told him I don't have any faith that it's gonna work. Once I saw the video, I was like, damn, I would help that guy. I started having a little faith. I did start thinking it was gonna work. And when it did, it was like, wow. You know what I mean? The emails I got from people that were like, don't quit. I had this one dude, I'm not gonna say his name because I don't know if he want to put his business out there. I know who he is. He told me, like, your music, and this is You're the Horse he's talking about. He's like, your music helped me get over a divorce. You know what I mean? So, like, I owe you so much. And I would never want to see you quit. And I had like hundreds of messages like this. It was little kids talking about, I helped them get through bullying and like people younger, 21-year-old type people saying like, I helped them through addiction because my story, you know what I'm saying? And seeing me persevere. And like, then I have people that I just know that I'm like, you're supposed to be my dude, looking at me like, yo, I'm living my dreams through you. You can't quit. I gave up on my dreams. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I got all this responsibility on me. But at the time, it wasn't a negative thing. It was really like, wow, people really believe in me and they're invested in what I'm doing. And they really, really want me to win, to the point that they exceeded the goal in 2 days. You know what I'm saying? We ended up raising enough money from the GoFundMe to catch up on my rent and pay my rent all the way to the start of football season so I could make this Louder album with that whole burden off my chest. You know what I mean? So that shit was dope.
I'm almost ashamed to admit it. About 2 weeks ago, I was thinking about calling it quits. Luckily I didn't. But someone said, man, this is not the time to quit. No, so accept defeat, hold your head. As long as that clock still has time on it. The game ain't finished yet. Game ain't finished yet. The game ain't finished yet. The game isn't finished yet. The game ain't finished yet. I was out of hope, about to call it quits. I was this close to walking away from all of this. Man, I'm telling y'all, there's not much in life that could be more stressful than trying to be successful. Cause when you months behind on rent and all your time gets spent trying to find a way to change the game, but you sidelined on the bench. You like, coach, put me in or give me a beat so I can vent. Cause I'm starting to feel like me and this dream are not meant. Man, I'm tired of chasing, I'm drained. Been trying to make my own lane. Working full time on this Bronco music. Trying to make it my thing. And when it seemed like I should get a job, like I should go back to that forklift, you told me to keep the dream job. You said the math fanatic can't forfeit.
After the GoFundMe was successful, I was able to go back in the studio with kind of this weight lifted and this new sense of motivation. It just made me feel like I got to get in shape. I got to work out. I got to give everything to these songs. You know what I mean? And we did.
Man, why you wanna play the game at all? If you ain't trying to win, if you ain't trying to win, I think every player that's involved should give 110.
So we're prepping for the launch of the website, and we finally hit the button. Boom, we launched the website, right? Within an hour, the Denver Broncos game entertainment manager, she replies to one of the fans that signed a petition. And she's like, yo, we've been getting so many of these emails. Who is the Mad Fanatic? Please just tell them to send us the music. We will listen to it. Clearly, there's a lot of people that want to hear it, right? And I'm talking about they got thousands in an hour. In the first hour, thousands of people signed the petition. That was the kind of impact that campaign had. To the point, she emailed me like, yo, this is like messing up our servers. You know what I'm saying? Our IT department would really appreciate it if you would stop this petition and just send us the music. I'll plug you into the DJ. You can, you know what I mean? He'll listen to it and we'll go from there. I'm like, awesome, it worked. I stopped the petition. The DJ hits me up and he's like, oh, send me the music. My boss said, you know what I mean, to check it out. And maybe the next day, I think, or maybe it was only a few hours later, the DJ hit me back like, wow, really good job. You know what I mean? I see a bunch of songs that would work pre-game while the players are warming up. And then I see a bunch that will work really well during the game as well. It's in particular Orange Crush, I think could even be on the stadium, what's that junk called? The Jumbotron. Like they should make a video for it to play during the game. So I'm hyped. I'm like, yo, everything's working. Smooth sailing. And sure enough, it was not. It was not smooth sailing at all. It was quite the opposite. So a few weeks go by and I'm thinking, all right, I'm waiting to hear about what paperwork do they need, because I've done licensing situations before with Fox Sports for the Super Bowl. And I'm like, usually people need my ASCAP information. They need a bunch of stuff to make sure this is going to work. And I didn't hear anything back. So I reached out to the DJ like, what happened? Like, you told me a bunch of these songs fit perfect. And he's like, listen, at the end of the day, I have so few opportunities to play music that I have to go with hits. I have to play stuff that's charting on Billboard. And I'm like, I understand, but I urge you to please reconsider and think about it from a different perspective. Because understand, I'm making music specifically for the Denver Broncos. That is never going to chart on Billboard. The Broncos, unfortunately, aren't that popular. You know what I'm saying? There's not even 1% of the population of the general world universe is a Bronco fan. So if I make music for just them, how is it going to chart on Billboard, which is measuring all the music in the United States, and or if you're talking about national, international charts, the world. So he didn't reconsider, and we started the season anyway, and we just had to grin and bear it. But we weren't going to give up on Louder, and we weren't going to stop making music at all. It was still going to be an ongoing thing that we did throughout the season. But we also decided to get started on unfinished business too.
Mad Fanatic. CMF on TNF.
So about a week after I talked to the DJ for the Broncos, for the stadium DJ, I'm on the internet, I'm on my computer, and I noticed that this guy named Sean Robbins from CBS just got a promotion. Now, Sean Robbins is someone at CBS. He's an incredibly talented director, producer. He has his own media company and does incredible work, like Grammys. He produces the Super Bowls. He does like big time stuff, the Olympics. And my first year being the Mad Fanatic, my first year all in with the Mad Fanatic, he actually just came across one of my videos on YouTube, and I got a phone call from this dude, and he's like, yo, you're really talented. This sports music, like normally people do that and it's really corny, but you're doing it in a way that I think is really something I can use on TV. And he presents these opportunities to do something for NFL Today. He presents the opportunity to do something for March Madness. Neither one of them work. But he told me back then, he's like, I'm going to keep following you. I'm going to keep following your journey, and I'm going to stay in touch. And whenever I see an opportunity or you see an opportunity, hit me up. So I noticed Sean Robbins becomes executive producer of Thursday Night Football, and then the wheels get turned. So I said, what if I could come up with an intro song for Thursday Night Football and pitch it to Sean Robbins? And at that time, I was on such a positive vibe. Like, it was all like, the catalyst was the GoFundMe. It changed what I thought about anything. I just started thinking, like, if I believe and keep positive vibes, things can happen. So I came up with this song 50 that I wanted to pitch to CBS as their intro for Thursday Night Football for their whole season. I had this idea that it would be perfect to put Sierra on it, because Sierra just started dating Russell Wilson, and I knew this girl that had a similar voice that could demo it out for me. So we demoed out the song. I sent it to Sierra's manager. I also sent it to Sean Robbins. Sierra's manager hits me up like, nigga, please. Yo, Sierra's manager hit me with like, yo, Sierra's gonna sing anything. It's gonna be something, it's gonna be her own song. And I was like, okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? All right, you know what I mean? So me and G are on a train. We're on our way to Bronco Game weekend. And G says to me, because G's artist, C. Nicole, is the one that demoed out the song, and he really believed in it. And he's like, yo, so whatever happened with that 50 song, they wasn't fucking with it, like, you know what I mean? And I told him, I said Sierra's manager was like, hell no, basically, you know what I mean? And then I sat there for a second. He said, so it's a rap, it's not gonna happen. And I said, I swear to God, this is hand to God. I said to him, but you know what though? I haven't heard anything back from Sean Robbins yet, so it could still be a possibility, right? And like 2 more minutes go by, we continue to have a conversation about something else, and I look at my phone, and I have an email from 2 minutes ago from Sean Robbins. Like, it must have been like exactly when we were talking about it. He emailed me about the song. Open the email, and it says, I like it, let's talk. It's the whole email. And I'm like, gee, look who just emailed me 2 minutes ago. And he's like, that's God, bro. That's God. That's crazy. 12th man, please.
Yo, tough man ain't nothing. Got nothing on my game. Nothing.
So Sean sends a text. I like it. Let's talk. And then I'm excited. I go to Bronco Game weekend. It's pretty dope. And then me and Key go to Seattle and have a terrible, terrible experience. Yo, Seattle was so bad, it's funny, yo. Now, you know what I'm saying? Now it's funny. It might even have been funny then, because it was that bad. So, all right, let me rewind a little bit. The first time I went to Seattle a couple years ago, right after we lost the Super Bowl, I lead this march of like 500 Bronco fans through the downtown singing, yo, 12th man ain't nothing, got nothing on my gang. And I'm thinking Seattle's the littest place ever, yo. It's sunny. It's like great weather when I'm there. It's like I'm having this vision, this view of what Seattle is like and how turned up their fans are. So I'm like, yo, Key, we gotta go do another Bronco Game weekend in Seattle. We're thinking it's gonna be bananas. We go to Seattle. First of all, we missed our flight. It starts off terrible, yo. We miss our flight. We're like 5 minutes late. And we have to get another flight that's like $300 each. We're like, bruh. Like, off the rip, we're like, Should we even do this? You know what I'm saying? But we're like, yo, we promoted a concert. It's gonna be lit. People waiting for us. They're counting on us, right? So we're like, F it. We'll cough up the bread. We'll go to Seattle. We go to Seattle. We go to do the concert. There's 12 people there. And I'm like, yo, I'm about to perform for 12 people. What kind of shit? You know what I'm saying? I just spent a ton of bread to perform for 12 people. So then I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's the weather.
We're not blasting loud yet. You feel me? It's like we're starting to make noise and we're trying to get louder. But at the same time, I feel like showing that we're not there yet is dope too, because that's the conflict. You know what I'm saying? Like everything about what we're doing is like the kind of shit we should capture, though.
I don't remember how we ended up trying again. We ended up paying for the DJ again and saying, yo, we're going to do the junk after the game. Terrible idea, right? So people are tailgating from 10 o'clock in the morning already. Weather, it's terrible. It's rainy, it's cold, it's just soggy. It's a preseason game. You know what I'm saying? The game's not even important like that, kid. It's a preseason game, yo. We come back and we have to do this show after this miserable, long, wet, cold day.
Son, so we tried to do that junk again yesterday. Got the DJ on board. We were at the tailgate telling people to come, but it was raining. It was bad weather. It wasn't like a crazy popping tailgate like it was, you know what I mean, when it was nice out. But it wasn't dead either. You feel me? It was at least 100 people at the tailgate. I ended up performing for like 5-10 people, and it started off just 2 people. I wasn't gonna perform at all. I was about to leave. Like, yo, I ain't even doing this junk, right? But then this dude hit me with the guilt trip. Like, yo, I went all the way out to see you in Bronco game weekend. Then you changed the date. You know what I'm saying? Pushed it back a week. So, and I couldn't change my trip because I mean he booked vacation, paid for the hotel, everything. So he ended up missing me there. So he was like, yo, man, my kids are huge fans. Could you just perform like a joint? Like just me and you, I'll do it with you. You could just rap to the YouTube video. My wife take a video for kids, you know what I'm saying?
And I'm like, yo, first of all, this is a crazy request. Let's acknowledge that. You just asked the artist to give you a private concert. But at the same time, I am a man of the people. You know what I'm saying? And I don't take myself that serious. And I really did feel bad that he missed out on Bronco game weekend. And I said, you know what? Fuck it. Put the beat on to the DJ. I kept the DJ, paid him. You know what I'm saying? Stick around. I'm going to perform for this one dude and his cell phone for his wife and kids to see the junk. And I do a whole concert.
It was borderline embarrassing, but I was so like, whatever at that point, probably drunk, that I wasn't in my feelings like that, even though I was very disappointed. Like, you know what I mean? I was very disappointed. Like, damn, son. This is like a mess. You know what I mean? We're a long way from being where we want to be.
You already know what it is, man. Unfinished business. 50. Yeah.
All right, so week 1, the home opener, we got a lot going on. My boy Marcus Baca Martinez, he recruited the most members to join Bronco Gang. Now, recruiting members to join Bronco Gang is basically saying like, yo, Bronco Gang is dope. You should check it out. Go to BroncoGang.com. If you decide to join, make sure you say I told you about it, right? So he recruits the most members this year. And whoever recruits the most members to Bronco Gang gets to go to the home opener with me. You know what I mean? Every year. And that means even if they're not from Denver, which he wasn't, and you get flown out, we get you a place to stay. We pick you up from the airport. You come watch the game with me. You tailgate with me. You get to be in music videos that weekend if we're doing any. Like, you get to have the experience of like you're on my team. You know what I mean? So we got that going on. But then we're also trying to do a, a house party, right? And at the last minute, we decide, well, let's build a stage for this house party. And it becomes such this crazy, like, this is a stupid idea. And mind you, it's coming off of a series of dumb ideas, such as Seattle. So you know what I'm saying? So Kevon's kind of at the point where he's like, yo, I'm tired of doing dumb shit, yo. I'm tired of spending money we don't have. I'm tired of doing last minute stuff. I'm tired of trying to like just be extra when we don't necessarily need to. We need to just focus on executing. And I'm just gung-ho like, no, I need a stage.
I'm saying the time is the most valuable thing we have. And rather than spending 4 hours estimation on building a stage, we can still rock the performance at a house party without a stage, and then work on the best solution to getting a stage after.
But why you don't? What's the?
Because the joint is today. Like,
what is the problem?
What?
Back here, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I want to know what it's affecting. What is that 4 hours? What is being affected by the 4 hours we spend on the stage? Because mind you, you're not spending 4 hours on the stage. I'm not spending 4 hours on the stage. He ain't spending 4 hours on the stage. He ain't spending 4 hours on the stage. We're having the people who are dedicated to building the stage spend their time on the stage.
We haven't even gone to set up the mics, get the check, get the show list.
We'll be doing that while the stage is being built.
Cool. And it's last minute shit. Once again, yo, when you do shit last minute, when a problem does occur, you don't have time to rectify it. Last minute shit should be a last resort, not the first option. I feel like everything
settling for some bullshit
like
should be the last resort.
No
Not
one's
the first
settling
option.
for bullshit.
Yes, you are. You doing the inside now?
No, I'm doing it outside with a stage with lights.
To me, you got to be willing to invest in yourself. You got to be willing to say, I'm spending money I don't have. I'm up against it because I don't think dope is all right. I think there's a clear difference between dope and all right. And I think if you keep doing all right and expecting it to have a dope response, you're kind of wasting your time, yo. They're all kind of like, bro, we ain't going to make a stage in a couple hours. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yes, we can.
Because the line was long, she kept on messing up. When Drew went back to grab another piece, she gave us a 10% discount. Then we just didn't have enough money, so she gave us another discount.
Wow.
We only paid $120 for all this when it should have been $150.
So that's what I'm saying. Ever since I've been saying when we came down here, it was everything has been falling into place, right? God is working for us.
Literally.
God is working in our favor right now because He knows what it is, man. So we should have agreed with Andrew to begin with because he was most likely.
It's over, man.
Yeah.
We got the stage. We about to build.
Andrew, you was wrong, but you're right.
But I was right as fuck. That's what it is. You know what it is? I got a different level of faith in my team.
Yo,
I just know we can pull off anything.
Yo, let's pull it off, man.
Let's do it.
Rock with me. Let's get it rocking. Rock with me. Rock with me then. Let's get it rocking. Let's get it rocking. Let's get it rocking in the 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 rocking. Boy, O'Lee.
We're gonna make it happen. We're about to build our own stage. We're gonna turn up in Thornton. Come out here, get turned up before the game. We'll see you tomorrow at the tailgate, but tonight is the night. And we're shooting a video for Louder fans. What's happening?
Where are we at and who we picking up and why we
Pulling up to the Denver International Airport to pick up my boy Marcus Baca Martinez, the track star, young whippersnapper, recruited more members than anybody else in Bronco last year. Shout out to him. Hopefully he has a good time. I know when we left the party, it was just getting started. Hopefully it turns up a lot more than what it was. But I'm sure he's gonna have a hell of a time chilling with us, especially never been going to a game, your first experience, you coming with your boy. I think you should have a hell of a time. You'll meet some video shoots. You're gonna go see the game with a diehard. And just shout out to him, man. It's dope when you have people get other people, like you love something so much that you tell other people about it and they want to join. You know what I mean? I respect that. And it helps us grow. And we're all about trying to grow. So what up, bro? What's good? Get all safe. Yeah.
Track star.
Good, man. Great. Glad you're here. Glad to be here, man.
Let's go. Yeah, a dope ass weekend, man. You got some fun your first trip to the game.
You already know what it is, man. Unfinished business. 50. Yeah, these KC fans be walking around like they got the loudest fans in the NFL. Because they got a loud ass stadium. Go ahead with that shit, man. No sunshine for KC. A storm's coming. Thursday night, we play them under the lights. The class of the AFC West is coming through. I'm coming too, and I'm thinking I just might bring the whole gang with me. Might cop me a rental and roll up. You welcome to come and hang with me. Come tailgate with all the Bronco fans. I might perform. I'll probably bring a stage with me. Have a cop boxing in the parking lot and a potluck. Bring something, I'll be cooking hot dogs and brats. Chief fans gon' be in their feelings when they see the Bronco gangs all up in their building. You see they walk around proud like they got the loudest crowd. That's a crown that they never really earned. You know they building was designed to be loud. If you think that I am lying, go sit down with Kelly Curry. I could care less about their record, cause it's less about their fans and more about their architecture. You can have the louder stands. Kudos to the architect, but we got louder fans. Louder fans, louder fans. Got the louder stands, but we got the louder fans. Louder fans, louder fans. Got the louder stands, but we got the louder fans. G.
Consider further evaluation. No, wait. You're starting off way wrong right now. You're starting off way wrong. Listen, people have.
After further evaluation.
It went well. At the end of the day, it went well. He was right about some things, and I was right about some things. We have disagreements, but at the end of the day, we come together and we do what we got to do to get it done because we're brothers and we love each other, even though we argue and fight.
We want the same thing anyway.
Exactly.
Well, hold on. But I was right about everything.
And me too, though. And me too, though. Except my man, though. Long story short, we end up building the stage. The party ends up being the best party I've ever been at in my life, hands down. I never went to college. He went to college. Maybe it wasn't the best party he went to, but for me, it was like I went to college, yo. Like I woke up and there's people like upside down on counters. There's like red cups all over the lawn. There's people outside face down. It's like a movie, yo. People are tore up, yo. Right? It was such a fun night, though. Like nothing crazy happened. I mean, the cop showed up and the cop was like, yo, people are calling the cops, blah, blah, blah. But we just agreed to turn the music down at a certain time. And it all worked out, man. The cop even took some footage with us. She took a picture with us. It was dope, man. Unbelievable. So the next day, we get up in the morning. Me and Baca decide to race because he's a track star. He's going to college for track. And I'm just like, I don't know why I just always size people up for some reason. I always think I can beat them at whatever they do.
Hold on, let me go down there.
Wait, it ain't gonna be no photo finish. We don't need none of that.
It's not gonna be a photo.
I'll back that like the past 5 yards.
No, you won't.
I'm gonna call it out. On your mark, get set, go.
Wow! He blows me out, and then we go to the game.
You having fun so far?
This is insane. It's everything I dreamed it would be, man. It's crazy. Last night was crazy. The video shoot. Today's gonna be crazy. We just got here. We ain't even been here half an hour, and I'm already bugging like crazy, man.
Let's go.
Anybody that's ever been to a home opener in Denver, they know that's like, it's nothing like it.
Hold on. How was the game? How was your experience? So
Crazy
far?
as hell. I don't even know how to put it in words, man. Like, it's just crazy. Didn't think I'd make it out here as soon as I did.
Shit was fucking dope. We had a mother effing ball. The game came down to the wire. It was hella turned up.
Going crazy the whole game.
I hurt my leg jumping up.
Right. Shit was dope, though. It was great. It was great. Good win.
Did you see the game?
Crazy. Now, the crazy thing about this is Kevon has to leave, right? So he's got to get back to work because that's the thing. I'm the only one without a regular job in this whole team, and I'm barely staying afloat, and I'm definitely not staying afloat enough to keep everybody else not having a regular job. You know what I'm saying? So Kevon's got to go back to work, but he's also got to edit this video to come out tomorrow. So Kevon goes like up into the mountains, downloads Final Cut, and he edits an entire music video the night of the game, and it comes out the next day to hype people up for the Kansas City game. So that was crazy. We bring Baca to go back to New Mexico, wherever he was going to college at the time. Bring him to the airport.
All right, it's almost over.
Yeah.
don't want it to be.
How was your trip?
It was crazy. It was like everything that I imagined it would be, and more. Like the first night at the little barbecue thing, just hanging out with everybody, meeting everybody from Bronco Gang. It was cool. Like got to meet a lot of people that like I knew through like Facebook and stuff, but like actually seeing them was cool. Like everybody had my back. Like it was cool. We knew that was like a real family. Getting to meet Mad, pick me up from the airport. It was cool. And then the game, of course, was crazy. Lost my voice and everything, and it was hype. Tailgate party was crazy. Shooting the music video was epic. Like I lost my voice even before going into the game. Like it was crazy. And then just hanging out today and just playing football with Team TMF, like it was kind of crazy. Like still starstruck, kind of just thinking that like I hung out with like it's pretty much celebrities like all weekend. Like all my dreams came true this weekend. Like everything I've been dreaming about since a little kid, wanting to go to Mile High Stadium, see the Broncos whoop ass. And then recent dreams getting to hang out with the Mad Fanatic and Team TMF. Like we played freaking two-hand touch football in the backyard. Like it was all so surreal, like crazy, like one of the best experiences of my life easily.
Send him off on his way, and immediately after that, we're like, all right, now we're headed to Kansas City. So we leave Denver International Airport and we drive to Kansas City because we're on a budget. But it's a great time.
I was running through the six with my woes. You know how that shit go. You know how that shit go. You know how that shit go. Running through the six with my woes. You know how that shit go. You know how that shit go.
If you ever taken that drive to Kansas, it's literally like what you would think it is. It's just a straight line with like grass and like cornfields like the whole way. It's like miserable.
How long was that drive?
8 hours. It was an 8-hour drive, but luckily we broke it up. We stopped at my boy's crib on about halfway, and then we stopped at a Bronco Gang member's crib, and then another Bronco Gang member's crib that was right around the corner. We watched one of their high school football games. I raced one of them kids, lost again. But it was fun, yo. We had a lot of fun. And then we made our way to this other Bronco Gang member's house where we crashed. And then it's Thursday morning now, right?
Let's go! Let's go! It's Thursday night. Who's ready to start the show? Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Thursday morning, we get up. We don't go straight to the game. We actually did something we've done a number of times. We organize what we call a sack hunger event, where normally we just go around the city to where like there's a lot of homeless people and we prepare food for them and we feed them food and water, you know what I mean? And try to tell them to keep their head up. And but this time we were actually able to get in touch with the shelter and go to the shelter and like actually feed people at the shelter, which was different, but it was awesome. We were grilling hot dogs and hamburgers and stuff like that. And it was really, really a humbling experience because, mind you, a couple months ago when I was about to quit, when I had to do the GoFundMe, that was like heavy on my mind. Like I could be homeless. You know what I mean? I know how close I was to being homeless. And I just know that it's just a couple bad breaks and you could be homeless. I don't look down at homeless people like, damn, you're homeless. I've seen the movie Being Flint. You know what I mean? And like I said, I was almost homeless myself. So I remember being there and feeling like I gotta tell these people this story about what happened to me with this GoFundMe and how important it is to stay positive. So the lady, she knows I'm an artist, and she comes up to me and she's like, do you have any songs you could probably, you know what I mean, sing for them that may be like not about football, that may be like inspirational or anything? And I'm like, I got the perfect song. So I tell these people, the people in the shelter, and mind you, this is different than performing for fans. You know what I'm saying? These are grown men and women, but mostly men. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, shit ain't going so good right now. I don't give a shit about football. I'm losing a lot of hope. I don't give a damn who you are. You know what I'm saying? You're not even famous. Like, you're just here giving us some hot dogs. Okay. You know what I'm saying? It's not like the best thing that ever happened to him. You know what I'm saying? But I still feel like this, like, sense of responsibility and really opportunity to inspire people, which is what I love doing, which is why I make music in the first place. So I spit the same song for my GoFundMe. And I tell them the story about how I got this close to quitting and how I was scared I was going to be in a place like this. You know what I'm saying? And how the only thing that got me through it was faith. You know what I mean? I told him literally people helped me. You know what I mean? And that might not always be the case for everybody. Not everybody, which is what sucks. There's not always help available to people. But what is there is God, what you can control, your positive attitude, your outlook on your situation, and just perseverance. You always have the ability to persevere and get through it if you choose to. So that's what I told him. I spit the song to him, and I told him how far I've come and how today I'm about to go to this game, and I might even be on TV for Thursday Night Football. Look how far I've come in 8 weeks, or what was it, 12 weeks? You know what I'm saying? So I was trying to inspire them, but at that time, I still wasn't sure I was going to be on Thursday Night Football. So then we go to the game, we go to the tailgate, and I'm looking for Sean Robbins because the Thursday Night Football crew is there, and I'm like, I got to find Sean. I want to find out, am I going to be on TV or not? How happy should I be that I'm here? You know what I'm saying? And I go see Sean, and it's crazy. It's like all gated off. It's like no way I could even get in there. And Diz is like, yo, let's just bang on the fence and just yell to the dude like, yo, come here, do you know who Sean is? And I'm like, what? I ain't about to do that ratchet shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is the bad look. I'm not doing that. Diz is like, I'm doing it. He did it. Sean comes running out. You're like, can you go get Sean Robbins? Yeah, sure, no problem. It's my first time meeting Sean, and he's a giant. He's literally a giant. He's like 6'8". And I'm just like, oh my God, it's Sean. Like, it's crazy. And he's like, yo, yo. He's like, yo, man, we're they like the song. You know what I'm saying? We're running it. It's gonna be on Thursday Night Football tonight. And I'm like, oh, my life is dope.
Hold up. We making noise. Hey, yo, we out here turned up here, man. Bronco gang, yo. You know what it is? Way up. We feel blessed.
We're just having such an unbelievable time. The fans in Kansas City are so great. If you ever get a chance to go to Kansas City tailgate or watch a game, go. It's probably the most welcoming, friendly environment I've ever been in to watch a game on the road. I'm barbecuing with people from the other team. We're rivals. You know what I'm saying? We're taking shots. We're playing all types of drinking. It's such a good time. Me and G are just feeling like on top of the world.
And the rock is ready.
The Broncos win the game in thrilling fashion. They forced a fumble. The last play of the game, Roby runs it back, touchdown. It was just such an amazing, amazing experience. And then we leave the game, and Kevon, who's home, he Instagrams the clip of recording his TV showing the Let's Go intro. This is the first time I see it. And I remember his Instagram clip saying something like, we went from YouTube to national TV. And I remember feeling like, we're doing it this year. This year is going to be special.
No seats. Standing up the whole game cause we fire. No seats. Standing up the whole game cause we fire. No seats. Standing up the whole game cause we fire. No seats. No seats. Nah.
In addition to doing Louder, which is this album we did for the stadium, which was going to be an ongoing campaign throughout the season that people could keep signing the petition, we were also doing Unfinished Business 2, which is a weekly diss song about each game. But the challenges we had this time around for Unfinished Business 2 that we didn't have with Unfinished Business 1 is when we did Unfinished Business 1, we weren't popping yet and we weren't going anywhere. You know what I mean? I wasn't traveling at all, except like one trip. So for us to finagle doing these music videos was really tricky. So like for the first music video, for week 1, we had to do
Kill them birds, bro kill. Stampeding on them, you already know the deal. It's looking like a bird flu going around, but it's us killing birds. We gonna put them down.
We did it like a couple days before we flew out to Denver. And then like a couple days after that, and this is another thing Kevon is gonna, in hindsight, tell me I spent a lot of stupid money on. We did Hakuna Matata, which was the week 3 video.
Hakuna Matata, eh. It means no worries for the rest of your day. We ain't worry about the Lions, we ain't worry about this game we about to play. Hakuna Matata.
Now I spent like $600 on just costumes for this video. And it's like not even a successful video. It was like so unnecessary, but I'm such an artist that I just want, like, I want it authentic. The concept for Hakuna Matata, we're playing the Lions in Detroit, the Detroit Lions, and I think about Motown. So I was like, I'm gonna do this Motown inspired video. I'm gonna go rent out a vintage recording studio. I'm gonna buy real vintage leisure suits and be like Rick James, Jimi Hendrix, and Stevie Wonder back in the 70s. And do this Motown song as the Mad Fanatics, like the Stylistics or something. And so we shot that video, spent a lot of unnecessary money, and before we even went to Denver. Then we go to Denver, and then as soon as we get there, that night, not as soon as we get there, but that night we shoot the Louder Fans video with the fans. Kevon turns it around with quickness. The next morning, that video comes out. The next morning the video comes out, because the next day we actually went to the game, and we shot another video with the fans. But this video was so amazing because we were able to use our influence. I was able to tweet and Facebook like, yo, I'm going to be shooting a music video with the fans in different tailgates. If you want to stop by your tailgate, let me know, and we'll put you in the video. So to juxtapose that to the first time I did Orange Crush, my first time in Denver a few years before that, it was just two little crowds, and it was like, nobody knew who I was, but it was like, I'll stand in the thing, and they're kind of looking at me like, what is this? It's just a different vibe. Orange Crush 2.0, this is 3 years later, I think. It's just a whole nother, we're in another planet, popularity-wise, and it's just like, it was dope to feel it and enjoy that. Like, we went to tailgate, and every one of them was like 100 people, 200 people. Like, it was dope. We had a really dope time. We shot that video. Then we went to Kansas City. Then we come back from Kansas City, and then Hakuna Matata comes out. I watched the Lions game with Luna and them at the Lunatic Bar in his garage. It's a great time. We win a close game. It's fun.
3 formation on them. Shout out to them Broncos. Orange Crush is back. We are here.
I fly back to Connecticut. Finally, get a little bit of rest. I've been gone for like 2 weeks. I got a wife, a kid, and they're like, of course, they miss me, and I'm sure my wife is overwhelmed. But I'm just tunnel vision this season, right? And then what do we have after that? The Vikings. I think we just did like a diss on Garage then. Then we played the Raiders. I did Rivalry Restored.
Man, lately Raider week's been boring. It's been hard to carry. The Broncos sitting at the top and we ain't letting go. While y'all been riding low like a Chevy 6-4.
Simple video, but had a great impact. And I watched that game at Leaf's house. It was G Nice's birthday weekend. This is in Long Island.
Now you ain't watched the freestyle. I was like, Derek, don't you throw my way. Eyes on this is a no-fly zone. A no-fly zone.
Week before, for the Vikings game, I watched Mustang Harry's. New York. These are all just an hour-and-a-half drives for me. These aren't big deals. So I'm basically staying local. I'm going home the same day to see my family. Fast forward.
It's gonna be a long day today. Flew to Dallas. Now I gotta wait a couple hours. Fly to Denver, chill for a couple hours, and drive like 9 hours to El Paso. It's gonna be crazy.
What you know about that Texas beef on the grill, huh? Ooh, wait. Out here in El Paso with the palm trees, you feel me? Pre-gaming before we go to 6 strings. Texas forever.
I'm at the Bronco bar in El Paso. Pretty live in here. My defense already scoring touchdowns. 10-0. You know how we do. Go Broncos. It doesn't matter what the Broncos offense looks like.
We come back from the bye week, and we're sitting there like, yo, it is week 7. Right? We're now at week 7, and they still haven't played my song in the stadium. You know what I'm saying? I've been to a couple of these games, and I'm like, yo, they're really not playing me in the stadium, yo. Like, we got thousands of signatures. What do we have to do? So I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do something to bring more awareness to this campaign, because it's starting to get forgot about with Unfinished Business, with Thursday Night Football, with all things we're doing. We're forgetting what we started. came into this year like we're going to get louder in the stadium. That was our #1 goal. And we're totally losing track of it and not making any strides towards it. And we're at the bye week. You know what I'm saying? Damn near the halfway point of the season. And I'm like, yo, let's throw a tailgate concert in Denver and use it as an opportunity to tell people what we're trying to do with this Louder campaign. And also, let's make a video and show it to the DJ, because the DJ is telling me you're not charting, so people don't care about you. And I'm telling him, yo, Bronco fans like my stuff. You know what I'm saying? It may not appear on charts, but if you were in tune with what's actually happening in this fan base, you'll realize I'm kind of a big influencer in this space. And Bronco fans, they listen to my music before games. People at home are listening to my music during games, before games. I'm hearing it walking around the tailgates. I know that Bronco fans will get fired up from my music because I see it. I've seen it happen. I'm pointing my ears like I've seen it. I hear it. I see it happening. And so we go shoot this thing. We shoot the video. Because it was free, I think it was just so pure. We had no expectations. It was our first time. We didn't spend too much money. You know what I mean? We bought a few parking spaces. We used that same stage we built for the home opener. And we borrowed the same sound system. We did a lot of things for free for the most part. And we just threw this concert, and it was a great time.
Make some noise!
Everybody was saying we're going to lose this game against the Packers, and we came out there and we dominated them. And the crowd was so hyped. The TV kept talking about it. They were like, I've never heard the crowd this hype. And I felt a little bit responsible for that. You know what I mean? Because like I said, those hundreds of people that are at this tailgate that are just on 100, they're going on there and they're being on 100 in their different sections. And now the people around them are like, I got to be on 100. Bronco Gang members, they're the ones that are in the section going, come on, guys. You know what I'm saying? And that's, if I can impact those influencers in their sections, I can translate to having, my music's having a bigger impact. You know what I'm saying? My message is being heard and felt. And I felt it early on, but like just a little bit.
Mad they don't play me at the stadium. Mad because I got mad songs and they still not playing them. I give them something special every weekend. I'm mad Bobby Message never rescheduled that meeting.
We beat the Packers. The tailgate concert was fairly successful. It was a great time. The energy was dope. I'm sure the energy translated into the game. And then after that, he edits the footage and we send it to the DJ. And I get an automated message like, y'all check it out when I get a chance. I'm on vacation. So some time goes by. We get to the Kansas City game. Broncos are playing the Chiefs. Peyton Manning throws 5 interceptions, right? Bronco fans are like, he gets pulled for Brock Osweiler. And Bronco fans are kind of like, Osweiler doesn't come back or anything. There's no miracle. Doesn't win the game. And I remember the vibe of the building being like, or of the vibe of the fan base being kind of like, damn, it might not be our year again, yo. It's always bad luck. Peyton hurt his foot, and it just wasn't looking good. But that didn't stop me. I still was hyped. I still was like, you know what? I'm rocking with 17. 17 starting, I'm rocking with 17.
Hey, listen, that was a tough loss today. I'm smiling because I've been drinking tequila all day. But I got one question. Who got the Brock jerseys for the loader? I need one of those.
And I think his first road start was he starts the next game against the Bears. I go to Chicago.
Soldier Field. You know, I got that flag on me. Salute the service and the other one. Rocking the Brock. Go Broncos.
Cold as shit in Chicago, man, but great city. I have a great time. We win the game. I couldn't sit down because my seat was frozen.
See, I'm not even gonna clean my seat off because I ain't sitting in it. No seats. Standing up the whole game because we fired up.
I had to stand up, no seats. You know what I'm saying? But I had a good time. Went to Chicago, ate some deep dish pizza, which is trash. We were having pizza all day. You already know.
Hey, I thoroughly enjoyed this game. That stadium was awesome. The game was dope. Shout out to Brock, he played good. Shout out to the coaches. Shout out to the defense, making the plays when they needed to. Man, let's keep this thing going, man.
Hey, let's keep this train rolling, boys. Broncos on 3. 1, 2, 3. With every single step it gets harder. The closer that we get, it seems harder.
It's a fun time. We win the game, but it's cold, and it was kind of a draining trip, yo. And I'm still in my feelings. I'm like, yo, it's been 4 weeks since we did this concert. You know what I mean? They still haven't played louder in the stadium. And I'm like, damn, man. So, but like I said, I never had a moment or a day or two where I could be like, yeah, foot off the gas. There was never no point in that season when the foot was off the gas. But I reached a point where I was about to take the foot off the gas. This week, week 12, it's Patriots week. Normally I'm super hyped. It's the Patriots week. But in this case, I'm like, we're playing Tom Brady with Brock. It's not the same. It's not Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. It's Brock. I'm a little hyped, but I'm a little drained, and I'm a little mad. We still haven't played my song, and I got a concert coming up in Colorado Springs, and the ticket sales aren't doing good, but I got to go anyway. So I go to the studio to do my weekly diss song, and I get to the studio, and I'm like, I don't got it, yo. I was going to do this song called Killing the Patriots. You know what I mean? I was going to use Shannon Sharp's sample. He said, call the president, we're killing the Patriots. And I just didn't have it in me. Like, I felt like my vibe was just not there. So I'm like, do I leave and go home and just not do a video this week? I call Coach, and Coach tells me, like, yo, do something. You know what I'm saying? You can't. It's too early to run out of gas. Like, it's week 12, yo. You know what I'm saying? Do something. You can't. You got to start something, finish it. You know what I'm saying? I go back in the studio. I start going through beats. I'm looking for something to do. And I come across this beat that sounds like a train. And I thought about what Brock said after the Chicago game in the victory press conference. He said, let's keep this train rolling, boys. And so I put that in the beginning of the song, and I started recording the song, and I'm like, big shoes to fill for the boy Brock. Just heard he got denied. Let's get his boy a shot. And somehow the song ends up going from me talking about Brock to me talking about adversity to me talking about myself and the adversity I'm experiencing and feeling like they still ain't playing my CD, still ain't playing my music in the stadium. And I actually went home with a different song. I went home that day with the song that like became completely about me. You know what I mean? And I remember I shared it with Coach, and Coach was like, yo, you're on to something. I think you can do a little bit of that, but instead of just making it about you, like parallel it with what's going on with them. So I go back to the studio and I make this song, but now I'm feeling a little bit more like I end up writing a better third verse. This third verse, I kind of snap myself out of the funk and I say like, I know it's just another obstacle. Got to find a way to stay positive. Got to keep believing it's possible. And it ain't no different in football. You know what I'm saying? It's just like this life shit. Like Peyton Manning getting hurt, got Bronco country in a crisis. The point is, life will test you, especially when you're trying to be the greatest. But adversity makes you appreciate it. And I remember when I wrote that song, and I felt like, nah, embrace this. Embrace the struggle. Embrace they're not playing it yet. But stay positive, yo. Don't give up and say they're never going to play it. That's where the shit goes left. I didn't do that. I made the song. I snapped myself out the funk. So anyway, I fly to Denver.
1 year anniversary, everybody. Hey, DA Dub, Callaway Commute. What? CallawayRadio.com. Look who we got in the building tonight. What's up? What? Bronco gang in the house. Let's get it.
So I go do the interview with DA Dub, and we're having a good time. You know what I mean? We're having a real good time. And like we're just having drinks. We're talking real candid. It's real loose. It's not like a lot of these radio stations I go to, and it's kind of really professional. I'm not saying it was unprofessional, but it was a loose, chill vibe. And I remember I was starting to really snap out of my funk about the whole they're not playing my song and stuff like that. And I got a text message that said from Craig Turney, like on Facebook, and it was like, yo, I just watched the video. It is pretty dope. Send me that song. I'm gonna see if this is something they would let me use. I don't know if they will because it's got the crowd noise in it, and like you're actually giving prompts for the crowd to get hype. I don't know if this will be compliant with the stadium rules, but we'll see if I can make something happen. So I'm like, wow, this might be starting to turn around, like how the song. Keep believing it's possible, and it might still be possible. So it wasn't like, yo, it's gonna play this week or next week, but it was like the wheels are still turning.
Y'all know what it is. Man Fanatic.
The destination is on your right.
Where we at, Diz? Shit, gold room. About to set everything up. You look pretty warm out here.
We at the cold.
Yeah, right. The cold room.
My brother, it's his fiance's birthday weekend, so he's coming to Denver with me to watch the Patriots game. She's a Patriot fan. He's a Jet fan, so he's not rooting for the Patriots either. But he comes out there, so I'm kind of got extra stress on me because it's my little brother. You know what I'm saying? And he's also a very, very talented musician, rapper, my favorite rapper. Him and Key and myself. So he went and he didn't chase his dream necessarily. He found a new dream, but which is being a fireman, and I'm proud of him. You know what I mean? But I always wanted to show him like you shouldn't have given up on your dream and music because you had it, and look what I'm doing. It did quite the opposite for me, in my opinion, anyway, because I knew that ticket sales were terrible. He's about to come here and see a terrible show. You know what I'm saying? And I just wasn't in a good headspace. I wasn't feeling like I'm accomplished or I'm anything to look up to. And I was kind of embarrassed. So we go out to Denver. We go to Colorado Springs to do this show. Now, peep this. Somebody shoots up the Planned Parenthood the night before, which is like a block away from the Gold Room where we're doing the show. So and they don't catch the killer. So the town is a little uneasy, and it's freezing. It's like 10, maybe 20 degrees outside. Icy, just nasty. If I was there, I wouldn't want to go to a concert either. You know what I'm saying? To hype you up for a Patriot game between Brock and Peyton. I meant Brock and Tom Brady, not Peyton and Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? It's a game people don't really care about. Ticket sales for the game are going down. The weather's terrible. There's the shooting. There's a lot of factors why this concert might have been terrible, but I'm not thinking about any of that at the time. I'm thinking about, damn, it's empty in here. You know what I'm saying? This show's gonna be whack. The tickets aren't selling online. It doesn't look like it's about to be dope. And the crazy thing is, Kevon put in all this work for these visuals and stuff because we have screens on this. We're thinking it's gonna be a dope show. That's why I had Jordan come, and it's totally not looking like it's gonna be dope at all. It's actually gonna be nope at all. It's gonna be terrible. So whatever. So I'm downstairs in the dressing room, and I remember I was starting to really get back into that funk again. This was like a recurring thing, especially in the winter. And this particular week, it was really, really getting to me, but I was fighting it, like how that song was. And I remember saying to myself, like, yo, instead of bitching and being mad about the 100 people or 150 people that didn't come today that you were hoping would be here, be grateful for the 50 or 60 that are there. You know what I mean? Because they came in the terrible snow, despite the uneasiness of the Planned Parenthood shooting and whatever else, despite the fact that it's not a Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, it's Tom Brady, Brock. They still came to see you, man. You know what I'm saying? They paid to be here. They care. So instead of bitching about the people that don't embrace and love the people that do. And I remember during that show, I actually told the fans at that show how I was feeling.
While I'm very grateful for each and every one of you for coming out, sometimes I get very discouraged that the whole world is not listening. I get especially discouraged that they're not playing my songs in the stadium yet. And that's why I made this album louder, why I started this petition and gave the album away for free. Because I want people that believe the music should be in the stadium to sign it, help me get up in there. But the other day, shout out if you one of the fans that's trying to get louder in the stadium. I definitely appreciate it. I know most of you guys signed a petition, it's not all of you, because you guys care, and I appreciate that. Not that the people that's not here don't care. I'm sure a lot of people care that aren't here. People can't make it. There's a tragedy. I know it's winter time. There's a lot of things going on. But the bottom line is this. Sometimes in life, we get tested. Sometimes there's obstacles put in front of us, and you can either stop, you can jump off the train and say, I give up, or you can stay the course, keep riding that train, and eventually you'll get to that trophy or that goal you're trying to attain. And I feel like the Broncos are going through the same thing right now. Amen. The last couple of years, we came about this close. We felt like we had it, and then we had some adversity. This year, Peyton Manning is hurt. We feel like we got everything we need. Peyton is hurt. And you know what I feel like? I feel like we're being tested. And it's just going to make us strong. And we're going to keep the train rolling. And we're going to keep stepping. And we're going to start by stepping on top of the ball back. And that's what's going on.
You know what I'm saying? You got to stay positive. You got to persevere because adversity makes you appreciate it, right? And I always reference back to this movie, Pursuit of Happiness. The dude, long story short, if you've never seen the movie, fuck it. If you've seen the movie, if you didn't, spoiler alert, don't listen to what I'm about to say. But Will Smith went through so much to be like a stockbroker, right? But it was like when he became a stockbroker, it was like you might even cry watching it because it was so much adversity for him to get just that. You know what I mean? But there's like people that come out of college, their dad works at the firm, and they're like, oh, you're a stockbroker. It's no big deal. It's the adversity that made that moment feel that good. You know what I mean? So I always try to tell myself to embrace those moments, to embrace the struggle, because it's going to make the victory sweet, right? So anyway, I'm embarrassed. I have this show, but I do get to perform with my brother, which is like a dream. I haven't performed with him in so long.
I work in the field where I deal with death every day. So in this life, I know that the reaper's a step away. And every step you take could be your last. One step could be your ass. And if you ain't got no job, I guarantee you crash. Hope you with your airbags and seatbelts.
And he still got it. You know what I mean? It was dope. He performed No Tomorrow with me. All in all, it was a good time. The kids were really happy to see me. A lot of kids there, which was cool. And then the next day, we're going to the tailgate. We're late. We're running late. It's cold. It's not going to be a good time at the tailgate. We go to the game, and it's people that remember the season. It's the Brock, Tom Brady game.
Sports Authority Field. I'm gonna need y'all to turn all the way up right now.
It's game day, so you already know where I'm at. We in Lot D. Come holler at us, man. Oh, you don't know where Lot D's at? Oh, it's over there in the Mecca, Denver. Sunday night football. Let's get it cracking.
And it's snowing, but it's like it's not the freezing miserable snow. It's the soft, fluffy snow. And they gave us these orange mustaches to break a Guinness World Record of wearing the most mustaches at once. The whole crowd's wearing orange mustaches, and it's the fourth quarter, and the Broncos need to stop. You know what I hear? Sports Authority Field. I'm like, what the? I'm gonna need y'all to turn all the way up right now. I'm like, yeah!
Authority Field. I'm gonna need y'all to turn all the way up right now. Home team. I'm happy about that. Shout out to Craig Turney, man. Shout out to everybody. Keep the chain rolling, man. Let's turn up and let's get what's that? For people who don't know what just happened, Oh, they just played my joint. They just played the beginning of home team. It's officially in the stadium. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the DJ. It's a good day. Get louder in the stadium.org. Get louder.
It was such a moment for me, man. And it was like, that moment might not mean a lot to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my song came on for a few seconds in a game. You know what I mean? A lot of artists, especially, because it was easy for them. You know what I'm saying? But because of all the adversity, the years of making songs and feeling like I'm overlooked and just not appreciated, and that it was such a hard fight. We had to get thousands of signatures. We had to make a tailgate concert, send a video. We had to convince the DJ to give me a chance. He plays the song. Crowd goes nuts. I'm damn near about to cry. Broncos come back and win the game. And the DJ texts me and he says, oh my God, the crowd went nuts. It's like, I definitely need to use that again. You know what I'm saying? So that's the part of the story where we got louder in the stadium for the first time. And it was amazing, man. And for the rest of the season, they kept playing it, yo. In the biggest moments, I felt like it was the NOS when you're racing. Like when they really needed a stop, it was like, play that home team by the Mad Fanatic. Crowd will wake right back up.
Rocking flip-flops in December. That's because I'm about to take a trip to San Diego. Heard it's 87 degrees. Might as well be another bye week because it's gonna be a day at the beach. California, no time to party. California, no time to party. In the city of La Jolla.
We end up winning. We win at San Diego.
We out here turning up. Like P3, San Diego. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Look at all these Bronco fans out here, man. Look at all these Bronco fans out here, man. We out here. We rap. Y'all see what's happening to them Patriots right now. When we beat undefeated teams, they stay there for a couple weeks. And that's home field coming to Mile High. Home field advantage is coming to the day. Woo!
Music by the Coach Basic, what up? What's good? G-Nice, I see you. I see you, baby. Ted's getting on my nerves.
We end up putting ourselves in a must-win game with the Bengals. We win in overtime. It's an awesome game. And now we're in a situation. Peep this. This is the last game of the season, right? Brock's still been starting. And I'm playing the San Diego Chargers. And before we play the San Diego Chargers, the Patriots are playing the Dolphins. And if the Dolphins beat the Patriots and the Broncos beat the Chargers, the Denver Broncos will be the number 1 seed in the playoffs and have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. If the Patriots beat the Dolphins and the Broncos don't beat the Chargers, the Broncos won't make the playoffs at all. You know what I'm saying? It's 1 seed or not in the playoffs. It was crazy, right? I'm in Philly.
We out here in Philly on Walnut and Ogon. You know what I'm saying? Ogons, yeah. We just left Papa Joe's. We had us a little Philly cheesesteak. Oh no, is that what it's called, right? Philly cheesesteak. Yum yum. It was pretty damn good. You know what I'm saying? I'm born and bred off them subs, steak and cheese subs, lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise. It was a little different, but it was very good. That Amoroso bread, what's it called? Amoroso bread was pretty damn blazing. I liked it, yo.
I go out to Philly to watch the game, and another Bronco gang member's man cave, one of the best man caves, if not the best man cave on the planet Earth, right? Mile High East in Philadelphia. Super diehard. Shout out to Greg. Shout out to my boy Joseph. Shout out to all my Philly dudes, man. Anthony, everybody. Jason, the whole Philly squad. So we go out to Philly to shoot this video. Initially, we were going to shoot Time to Be Champions with G Nice, but G couldn't go because he had a show. So we ended up shooting, what did we shoot? We shot Kicking and Screaming. We shot Kicking and Screaming, which is the first song on the album. And after we lost the year before, John Elway was like, this team didn't go out kicking and screaming. So that was why it was the first song on the album. And I knew that, this is a do or die game. It's basically a playoff game. If we win, we're the 1 seed for the playoffs. If we lose, we're not in the playoffs. And I said, this is the time. Let's do Kicking and Screaming. We go out to Philly. We have this whole idea. We're going to do training. We're going to run up the Rocky steps. We're going to do the whole thing with these Philly dudes and involve them and then watch the game out there. And we did. And it was a great time. And before the game even started on Sunday, before our game started, the Patriots played. They lost to Miami in Miami. I knew they were going to lose. I was telling everybody, Patriots going to lose.
Time to get the 1 seed, have home field advantage for the entire road to 50. Go Broncos.
And then the Broncos-Chargers game starts. We're watching the game, and we're all defense, like we're cheering on third downs and stuff like that. But the game is starting to slip away from us. Like, it's not Brock. Brock is not really doing anything wrong, but for some reason, like, he'll throw the ball, then it bounce off this dude, then someone intercepts it, and then someone fumbles. It was just, everything was just, it wasn't working. You know what I mean? It started off dope. Demaryius Thomas with like an 80-yard run, but then after that, it's starting to slip away. And then my boy Peyton came back. Gary Kubiak had the wherewithal, Google that word, pretty dope. He had the wherewithal to say, this team needs a spark. I'm going to bring Peyton back in the game. Peyton comes in. Here's the iller part. Best part of this whole thing. I'm not there. I get a text message from somebody. They're playing home team as Peyton's coming back. Crowd's going ballistic. They were already gonna go ballistic because Peyton, but now they was like, go add home team to this junk. We want a spark. Let's get one. You know what I'm saying? This is the coach saying we need a spark, and the DJ having the wherewithal to say, let's times this spark by 2 and throw that Mad Fanatic on. You know what I'm saying? Crowd going ballistic. Payne comes in. We run. We win the game. We're the 1 seed in the playoffs.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Broncos! Shout out to my team, man. 1 seed.
Right? Unbelievable. Had a great time in Philly. I go home and I'm like, yo, I got a week of rest. We got a bye week because we're the 1 seed. You know what I'm saying? And then we got to go to Denver and we got to finish this business. You know what I'm saying? We got to go. Louder's in the stadium. Now what's left? We got to win the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Peep this. Now, everybody knows about superstitions when you're a football fan. I had one. I realized during the Bengals game, which is the week before this Chargers game, I want to make sure I tell you this because I think it's kind of important. I realized about halfway through that game that every time I had shots and actually got like drunk, I wasn't like laser vision focused that season. Every time I drank more than just beer during the game that year, we lost. Like it hit me clear. I was like, yo, the Raiders game I drank, this game I drank. You know what I'm saying? All 4 games that I drank, we lost. So I said in the Bengals game, when I was watching with G Nice at his house, I said, yo, I can't have no more drinks. Give me some water. And I started drinking water. Come back, we win in overtime. Then same thing with the San Diego game. I want to make sure I threw that in there. I had that same superstition. So I'm watching this game like damn near sober, like completely. I'm not even having beer. I'm like, yo, maybe I had a couple beers, but no shots. I'm saving the shots for after the game. We win the game, and then I'm like, all right, we got to go to the playoffs.
Playoffs, baby. Mad Fanatic. Still as it is.
So the playoffs roll around. And it's like I can't even take advantage of the bye week because we have a bye week. We're not playing. I still got to wait till after these games during the bye week to figure out the song so I can get it out on time. So we watch the game. It's late. It's like 11 o'clock at night. The game ends. I know we're playing the Steelers. I literally payback. It just instant. I was like, that's the song I'm doing. It's going to be called Payback because Peyton Manning's back and they beat us. We're going to get some payback against the Steelers. I hate the Steelers. Always hated the Steelers. And so I rushed to the studio. I make this song in like an hour.
It don't matter. They gave us the Chiefs. We would have smashed the Chiefs. They give us the Steelers. We smashed the Steelers. You see where I'm at. That new Steeler joint coming ASAP.
Like, write a song. I don't even write anything. I just go in the booth and do a song in an hour.
Payback, Sunday afternoon. Tell Ben that payback is coming pretty soon. See, last time my quarterback had plantar fasciitis, but everybody knows what healthy Manning is the nicest.
It's got to be past midnight. I sent Key the song, and I'm like, yo, we got to get this video out. It's got to come out hot, like already. He got one. I wanted that impact, and I know how important it is to be relevant so I can set the tone for this week with the fans, right? Key's like, all right, I got an idea. There's this abandoned building this dude took pictures at before I know of in Bridgeport. We could probably try to figure out to sneak into that abandoned building and shoot this video, just be a gritty video. And I'm like, all right. So we get up in the morning, we go to this place. It's crazy. There's like cops around. It's like, it feels like we ain't gonna get into this abandoned building.
Me in the abandoned building, looking for a nice location for this Steelers video.
And find like there's so many dope locations in this building. And we shoot a video, and then Key's like, all right, I'm out. He goes home, edits the entire video, and uploads it in like 4 hours. Gets a song like a little after midnight, has the idea for where the location is gonna be, go shoot the video. And I think he even took behind the scenes pictures. I think you had another dude taking behind the scenes pictures or something too. Even arranged for behind the scenes photo shoot while we're doing the video. It was crazy. And then we get the video out and people love it, right? To the point, the biggest hip hop station in Denver, what is it? Not KS 107.5 is playing it on the radio. They had me do a radio interview.
We need that home field advantage to be real. Let's turn all the way up. Payback in the Mile High. Steelers about to catch one. We going to the AFC Championship.
Playoffs, baby. Man, fanatic. Still as it is. Take that. Sunday afternoon.
You're like, how the hell did you get this done so fast? You had to have it done in advance. I'm like, no, I did not. You know what I'm saying? It's how could I have had it done in advance? You know, even they said that. They're like, well, how could you have had it done in advance? You know what I'm saying?
How many views did it get in 24 hours?
Oh man,
Never got 100K.
Yeah, on Facebook it reached more than 100,000 views. On YouTube it did well as well, probably 60,000 or something like that. It did really well for our numbers. You know what I'm saying? It was like it's popping and it's on the radio. You know what I'm saying?
In one day, that happened in a day.
Yeah, in a day, which is crazy for our numbers. You know what I mean? It's off the charts. And I just remember, and then we said, yo, throwing another tailgate concert. Because every time we throw a tailgate concert, we win.
1, 2, 3.
So we throw a tailgate concert, and it's the best one by a landslide. The turnout is crazy. The sea of people out there. Like, it really was like, wow, we out here. We have our tailgate concert. We go in the game. We win. It's dope. And they play home team again. And then after the game, we win. We come back to the parking lot. Everybody's all like, oh, that was amazing. People's voices are shot. And somebody tells me, I think it's Danielle Persley. She's like, yo, let's do another one. Let's do a tailgate. You got to do a tailgate concert for next week, too. You know what I mean? For the AFC Championship games, the AFC Championship. And I'm like, I don't know, bro. It's an early game. It's going to be hard to swing it. And luckily, somebody held me down with put up some bread for us to do it. And we made it happen. So, peep this. We won the Steelers game. It's dope. The tailgate concert was dope. And now I'm staying in Denver.
Back to life, back to reality. About to finish the packs, give them that fatality. Flawless victories, what I'm thinking, I'm speaking honestly. Beat them last time, I don't think it was an anomaly.
Before we even left to play the Steelers, we did the Steelers video. And then I said, yo, if we beat the Steelers, we're going to either have to play the Chiefs or the Patriots in the AFC Championship game. But I'm going to be in Denver. He ain't going to be able to get out there. I'm going to have to make a video for both of them. Right? So we do this Mortal Kombat video to finish him, and we shoot both versions of the video. So we shoot a version of the video dissing the Chiefs, telling them how we're going to win the AFC Championship, and had Diz dress up in the Chiefs uniform as a ninja fighting me in Mortal Kombat, and how we're going to finish their season, finish him like in Mortal Kombat. And then we did a version for if we play the Patriots, Diz dressed up in the Brady jersey. So we did both versions. And then Kevon's got to go edit them. I got to fly to Denver to see if we even beat the Steelers. We do beat the Steelers. Now the AFC Championship game's coming around.
That also mean you had to do 2 versions of the song.
Yeah, I had to make 2 versions of the song as well. And 2 versions of the video had to be edited. And it was a lot of green screen work. It was a lot of stuff. Like, we had to get over here. Like, it was a lot. I had to get a motion graphics dude to do that part. It was just a lot of stuff. That video, a lot went into that video.
See, we're here at the Finish 'em video shoot.
One of us is clearly in better shape than the other one.
I want to show you what it looks like when
He trying to play it off, man.
Yo, look.
Oh my God.
Yo, we work hard. We work for real.
And so I fly out to Denver. We win the game, and then immediately after we find out who we're playing, that video comes out. And we're like, how did you put that one on? I'm like, yo, I cheated on that one. That one I made 2 versions. You know what I'm saying? And it was crazy. I had like this media tour. Like, all of a sudden, I was like the hot commodity. Everybody wanted to interview. It was like, wow. I was on like 5 different news. I went to this pep rally downtown.
Oh yeah, I thought I was kidding, man. This is lit for real.
There was a bunch of super fans in the middle, and then like somebody spotted me, and it was a rap. And it was, oh, Matt Fanatic's here, and then the whole crowd just shifted and went to me, right? And then the news people were like, who's that guy? You know what I mean? But it was like multiple news stations. It's about to be the AFC Championship, so I end up rapping the song, the Finish 'em song, on one of the news stations. Then KOA radio calls me to go to do an interview at the supermarket the next morning. Then the Denver Post wants me to go on the Woody Page show which is dope. I'm a fan of Woody Page, and it was real cool. And I went up there and I rapped Inches, and I just remember feeling that was the first time that I felt like I'm really becoming something in this, and my music is having an impact to the point people like Woody Page want me on their show. You know what I'm saying? It was just different demographics I was reaching, and I was proud of it. We put this tailgate concert together for this week to fire up the fans once again. We actually had sponsors this time. Fireball came through. It was dope, man. We had people wanting to help us put it together, basically. I was blessed. This dude, Jared, gave me the best ticket ever, and I was able to give my ticket to G and Giz, I think. And then I flew out G, Kevon. We flew the whole team out. It's unbelievable. Best seats I ever had. And Tom Brady's about to come back and win the game. It feels bad. It feels like shit. We've been whooping him the whole game, but it's the fourth quarter, and he's only down a touchdown, and he got the ball. And it's Tom motherfucking Brady. You know what I'm saying? We all know, as much as we hate him, that motherfucker's a winner. You know what I'm saying? Him, Belichick, all of them. So he's coming, and it's third down. And Sports Authority failed. Farmer like, let's go. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we stop him, yo. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, yo, this is unbelievable, man. Unbelievable to hear your song play in a stadium and really see the impact that you're having on the game. Like, the crowd, they're hyping. They were sitting down chilling. They're going crazy. The players, they're seeing the crowd going crazy, and they're like, yeah, even louder. They're like basking in the ambience. You know what I'm saying? I got that from white chicks. They were like, yo, it's crazy. And then they I had a major impact on that game, yo. And I was proud of that. And the team won, and obviously they did their part, and so did the rest of the fans. The fans were as loud as I ever heard them in my life. It was amazing.
I had dreams of confetti. And I'm still going to continue to have those dreams.
I caught some confetti. It felt like the dreams of confetti I had years before when I had dreamed about it. When Von Miller said I had dreams of confetti, and I'm going to continue to have those dreams. And I was like, yo, I had the same dream, fam.
We're going to the Super Bowl. 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 We're going to the Super Bowl.
You know what I'm saying? So when that confetti came down in the AFC Championship and I got it, and I'm like, this was my dream, yo. It's surreal, man. It felt like a dream. That whole year was so magical. But enough with all the kumbayas and all the great things. The job wasn't done yet. We still had a Super Bowl to win.
We started down this road, chasing rings and a trophy. Chasing rings and a trophy. We try to bring the trophy back to Denver where it's supposed to be.
So I'm like, what can I make? What can I make? What can I make to get the fans ready for this game? And I decided I'm going to make a song about this entire journey, about the road to 50. You know what I'm saying? On top of, I'm going to make a diss song too. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make a diss song about Cam Newton. Ended up making Here Kitty Kitty, which is dope and funny. But I needed to make a song that was more important than that. That really told people like, yo, there's going to be adversity in this game. We were prepared and ready and battle tested. We were used to adversity. We embraced it. You know what I mean? We had it every week. So I wanted to make a song that reminded everyone of that. So I made Road to 50. I got G Nice on the song. This other dude reached out to me named Jeremy Nichols, great singer that lives in Colorado. He actually sent me the beat and everything. He was like, yo, I think we should make a song. And I was like, I got it. I wrote a hook for him. I sent him the hook. I demoed it out. He sang the hook. This song, I talked about the entire road to 50 and how battle tested we were and how people thought we wouldn't beat the Packers and how people thought it was a wrap when we had to bench Peyton. All of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Then G Nice brought it home with what we're going to do to the Panthers now. You know what I mean? But I caught us up to how we got to this point and this moment. And Road to 50 went bananas on Facebook, yo. And we're like, yo, we are making an impact. Everybody in the Bronco fan base is listening to this song. And that's why that season was so special to me, because it wasn't about me. It was about the fans, and it was about the Broncos, and it was about trying to have an impact. I remember being like, yo, I'm gonna put out an album. The Unfinished Business 2 was Road to 50. And I was like, I'm gonna put out Road to 50. I'm gonna package it up as an album, because before I wasn't selling it. It was just, I'm just doing this for free, yo. A lot of this stuff we're doing, we don't even have a plan to make money. You know what I'm saying? It's literally, we're doing it because we want to win and we just want to make an impact, right? So I decided, yo, I'm gonna package this album up as something people can purchase, and I'm gonna come up with a t-shirt or something. I came up with a Vince Lombardi t-shirt, like with the lyrics of my song Vince Lombardi and black and gold. And I'm gonna do everything I can in my power to try to get a ticket to the Super Bowl. I have to be there. I felt like I invested too much into this year to not be a part of it. Peep this. I want to say probably after the Brock game, I bought a flight to the Super Bowl. Week 12. I said, I'm buying a one-way flight to San Francisco, right? And then I'm buying a flight back to Denver for the parade. I bought both these flights in advance. No, damn well I don't have money for a ticket to the Super Bowl. I don't know that the Broncos are even making the playoffs, let alone going to the Super Bowl, but I just believe it that much. I knew we were going to the Super Bowl.
Music burns. We don't roll with no pussy cats. Know a lot of teams that's got those. We don't roll with no pussy cats. Know a lot of teams that's got those. Man, we don't roll with no pussy cats. Know a lot of teams that's got those.
So I have a flight to go to San Francisco for the Super Bowl, but I don't have a place to stay. I don't have a ticket to the game, and I don't have transportation, and I don't have money. So I'm like, what am I going to do? So I tried to sell a t-shirt. I packaged Road to 50 as an album. I tried to GoFundMe because I've seen other people doing it. I probably made $200, $300 on my GoFundMe, if that. That wasn't going to give me a ticket to the Super Bowl or transportation or a place to stay. So I go on Facebook. I'm like, yo, anybody just live out there I could crash with? And this dude, Justin, is like, yo, you can crash with me. So I got a place to stay now. I still don't have a ticket. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I got a place to stay. I got a flight. I'm at least going to be in the vibe and get to go out there. So it's like, it's got to be a couple days before I'm flying out. And I get a message from Colton. And he's like, yo, he screenshot it to me. He's like, yo, somebody's trying to get in touch with you named Rosanna Berdal. It seems like she's trying to give you a ticket to the Super Bowl. I hit her up. She tells me this story. And it's basically like, long story short, peep this. Bronco Gang weekend, right? And I started this story. I mentioned how we had Bronco Gang weekend. It was pretty cool. To me, that's what it was. It was pretty cool. We played football. We had our, you know what I mean? Family Day cookout was no big deal to me. It was like, I'm connecting with fans and we're hanging out, right? So her son was at Bronco Gang weekend. And her son is an affluent kid. You know what I mean? He's not really, he lives a great life. You know what I mean? They own multiple businesses. They're doing very well for themselves. And she tells me this kid who's traveled to Milan, who's done so many things in his life, went to my Bronco Gang weekend, him and his dad, and they just played football together. His dad was saucing people up too. He was nice.
Whoa, nice pass. Nice save. Whoa, go baby, go baby. Go baby.
Damn. Got the whole thing on.
Got it?
Nice. The whole thing. Yeah.
Oh man, got speed. Oh yeah, I know.
I can't breathe.
Hey, it wasn't for nothing. I got the whole thing on camera.
Get my block.
They played football. He gets in the car afterwards and he says, that might be the best day of my life. Right? So she tells me this story like, yo, my kid who's done so much said the best day of his life was playing football with his father. You know what I'm saying? Chilling at your Bronco Gang weekend. That thing that you do for people that you don't get anything for, that you just buy hot dogs and hamburgers and you know what I'm saying? And I don't do it by myself. Don't get it twisted. But that thing that you do without the expectation of anything in return has touched so many people, including us, that when I saw that you didn't have a ticket to the Super Bowl, I was like, damn, I wish I could give him one, right? So here's the thing. My husband is a referee for college basketball, used to be the NBA, and he has friends that are referees in the NFL. One of our referee friends has a ticket that he has access to that he can get for face value that he doesn't need, and he's willing to give it to us for face value because they can't sell him for it. They can't mark him up. You know what I'm saying? So when I saw that, I said I had to get you a ticket, right? So I have a ticket to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, what a fucking year, yo. What a year I'm having, son. I get an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. I got a place to crash. I got my ticket for $70 back before anybody knew we're going to the Super Bowl. I was like, hey, it's only $70. I'm buying it now before it turns into a $2,000 ticket. You know what I mean? I know we're going to the Super Bowl. And if we're not, I'll lose the 75. I didn't even get the little extra fee you pay so that you can refund it if you end up canceling your trip. I said, nah, because that might jinx it, yo. You know what I mean? I don't have any doubt that we might not go. I want the non-refundable, and that's it. And you know what I mean? And I bought my flight, and I knew we were going to win the Super Bowl because I also bought a flight to go to the parade.
They told us we couldn't do it. They don't want us to win championship.
So anyway, it's the week leading up to the Super Bowl. I go out there. I meet Justin for the first time. Justin's dope as shit. You know what I'm saying? First thing we do, we go to the package store. He's like, yo, you drink? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yo, you like tequila? I'm like, yeah. It's like, Don Julio? Yeah. Like, how'd you know? That's my drink. You know what I'm saying? So that off the rip, I knew it was going to be a dope week because I'm like, we got Don Julio. Anybody that knows me knows, like, I really drink Don Julio. That's my drink. You know what I'm saying? So we got some tequila. We getting to know each other. He's cool. Then I get to his house. This dude got 2 grizzly bears for dogs, man. Burmese mountain dogs or some shit. They're like this big, and I'm like afraid of dogs. But they end up being cool, and I end up dealing with it, and I end up not minding the dogs, right? So long story short, Super Bowl week is amazing. I meet so many people. I'm out there just having a blast. I get a message from Scott Landis in the Broncos promotional department, and he's like, yo, one of our dudes was at your at one of your tailgate concerts. I think the one for the Patriots. I meant not the Patriots, the Steelers. And we really like how you get the crowd fired up. So we were wondering if you wanted to be like the hype man for the Super Bowl pep rally in San Francisco. I'm like, me? Of course I want to be the, you know what I mean? Can I rap? Nah, you can't rap. But you can be the hype man. Just say a few words to him, get him hype. And I'm like, ah! So I go to the pep rally. I go on stage.
Hey, it's looking like Bronco country in San Francisco.
I need y'all to do me a favor for all the people back at home that can't be here right now. Can we get a 1, 2, 3 Broncos for the Instagram? I'm gonna count it out. 1, 2, 3.
I do the 1, 2, 3 Broncos, and it was just amazing, man. The vibe was 30,000 people saying 1, 2, 3 Broncos. It was just, I'm like, yo, I'm really having an impact. What I'm doing is mattering to people. It's creating opportunities, opening up doors. It's letting me be a part of this for real. And I felt honored and special. And I felt like, shout out to everybody that signed the petition. Shout out to everybody that helped put me in this position, because this is a dream for a guy who's just a football fan at the core. I mean, I'm an artist too at the core, but I've always been that. But I'm a diehard football fan. So for me to be able to have these experiences because of my art, it's unreal, man. So I have a great week. I go to the One Republic. Oh my, I gotta say, I can't not tell you this detail. One Republic's, anybody who knows me, like really knows me, or not anybody who knows me, people that know me like the musician, they know that One Republic is my favorite band in the world. You know what I'm saying? I love One Republic. I love their music. Like, Ryan Tedder's my favorite songwriter. He's somebody who's inspired me a million times, and someone I look up to. But I had never seen him perform, and he's performing like 2 nights before the Super Bowl on the Super Bowl 50 stage. Same stage I got to be on for the pep rally. But yeah, so I got to see him perform in concert. Great view, like close and everything. And it was amazing. The whole week was just amazing. I went to so many dope parties, met so many great people.
Game day. I want to see your game face. It's game day. I want to see your game face. It's game day.
But game day was kind of anticlimactic, man. I went to the game. I knew I couldn't drink because I had to be focused. I got to my seat like 2 hours early. Skipped all the tailgate parties, all that. See all these famous people going to the game. I don't even care. I'm like, I'm here for a purpose. I'm here to win the Super Bowl. I go to my seat and I sit there and I'm just watching players warm up and I'm just mean mugging Cam. And I saw in Cam's face, I actually had a dream the night before that the Broncos would win by 14 and that the defense would score a touchdown. Swear to you. I even went on Facebook and posted the Broncos are going to win by 14. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so I went to this game and Cam Newton had the same look on his face that he had in my dream. And it was like a look of somebody that wasn't ready. You know what I mean? He was a little deer in the headlights. He was a little fake confident, and he knew he knew what the media didn't know. He knew them Denver Broncos were some bad motherfuckers. If they could put that kind of pressure on Brady, and Brady can't get the ball to people like Gronk and Edelman, how the hell am I gonna get the ball to who are these guys, receivers? Like, I knew they were outmatched. But anyway, I went out there focused. I didn't drink. I enjoyed every second of the game. I got to watch it with Rosanna Bardal, who was a super hype fan.
Give me that! That's my ball! Yeah! My ball! Yeah! And they double on that!
I didn't even know this till I met her. She is turned. We had a blast, and we kept our section live. Like everybody else, not everybody. There's a lot of people there that were just like, I can afford to be here. They weren't diehard Bronco fans. We were diehard Bronco fans, and we had people coming up to us after the game, after we won the Super Bowl by 14, saying, "Wow, you guys really held it down. You had us fired up the whole time. Shout out to you," thanking us. And then after the Super Bowl, I got messages from people that were like, "Thank you for all you did on this journey. Like, there's no way you aren't a big reason why the Denver Broncos won the Super Bowl this year." And I thought about it, and I was like, I agree. And not just I think we had such an impact on the vibes in the stadium, on the vibe of the fan base. Like, you got to understand, we were doing a talk show, Garage Den, where we were just talking to fans about the game and just putting our energy out there. Then we're doing, people are following me on social media. I'm posting it every week. You know what I mean? There's thousands of people watching this stuff. Then I'm putting out videos that are getting 300,000 views. I'm on the radio. They're playing me in the stadium. It's like we're throwing tailgate parties. I'm hearing my music all over the stadiums. I'm seeing people are listening to my music at home on game day. And I'm like, this is what you wanted to do. You set out to impact the game with your music, and you did it. You know what I mean? And it's not just you who thinks you did it. You're getting hundreds of messages from people saying, you did it. We did it. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. You helped us. And I'm not saying, I'm not trying to like, yo, I get 50% of the credit. Even a fraction of a percent is enough for me. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to have some impact on the game. And I can truly look back on that year and say, I did. We did. And we won the Super Bowl. And they can never take that away from us. It was Super Bowl 50. It was the year CBS broadcasted. You know what I'm saying? It's the year I worked with CBS all year. It was just amazing, man. What a ride. What an unbelievable chapter of the journey that I will savor forever.
We committed no crime and bad mistakes. I've made a few. I've had my share. Kicking my Keep on
They told us we couldn't do it. They don't want us to win championships. They don't want us to be great. We don't concern ourselves with what they say. They said we couldn't make it. They said we weren't capable. They said there's only one place that knows. They said we can't win with pain. They said he can't let those. But now today I say we won the Super Bowl. I told you so. I told you so. I knew that we could make it here. I knew it. I had dreams of confetti and they were crystal clear. I even saw Vaughn holding up the trophy. Woo. But being there to witness it in person made it so sweet. I'm proud of this team. They went out there and dominated. Sometimes in life when you want something, you just gotta take. Sort of like what Miller did to Cam. He said, this is my ball, it's not yours, little man. Hard to believe that we was underdogs just a week ago. Probably gave the team motivation, we ain't need it though. We let them say what they say, and we just make it happen. And then let them be surprised when they see us out there down. They said Newton was supposed to be Superman. Daddy never even got to do the dance. Mismatch and said we wouldn't have a chance. Guess we showed them, damn, it feels good to be a champion. They said we weren't capable. That's what they told us. They said there's only one place that knows. They said we can't win the pain. They said we couldn't do it. But now today I say we won the Super Bowl. I told you so. And Coach
We got the best record in the AFC, so.
Want to tell me the 37-year-old man doesn't want to win this game? Man, oh man.
It was important to really go out there and play for John. He was our captain. I knew I had a great quarterback.
He dives inside the 5-yard line. My goodness.
There was so much baggage that we shed after we won that game.
This will be the sweetest kneel down in John Elway's career.
I grew up in Southern California. I wore Bronco shirts to school. Now you got to come in the next day feeling like a winner.
Go ahead and salute them, Denver. They have shocked everybody.
This one's for John.
I knew in my heart that it was not John Elway's last game. There's no way he doesn't want to repeat with this group of guys.
Final thought here, John, before they drag you away. Will you retire now? Was this the Holy Grail? I'll talk to you.
It's the biggest decision in my life, so I'm not going to rush it.
We just had a feeling that he wanted just a little bit more.
Once you get a taste of winning that championship and you got a chance to do it again, it's kind of difficult to walk away from that.
Everybody keeps congratulating me for coming back. The thing is, I never left.
Nothing can derail the Denver Bronco Express.
And they are world champions once again.
Bring it out.
Coming off their first ever championship season, the 1998 Denver Broncos knew the only acceptable outcome was a repeat performance.
Well, the offseason after the Super Bowl 32 was probably the best offseason we ever had because we felt like we had a real good team coming back.
We were hungry. Even though we had won one, it was almost equally important to go back and do it again.
We felt slighted in 1996. We lost the game to Jacksonville.
we let one championship slip away.
And it was such a disappointment that the next year was pretty easy to get everybody up for the year. We won some tough games down the stretch, but that got us ready for the 98 season because they know that if you let up any game, it's very easy to get eliminated.
You know, as we were going through the process and getting toward the end right there, you know, I think we all kind of knew this might be John's last year.
I've got a lot of years to live in retirement, and the last thing I want to do is pass up the opportunity to play one more year of football because that's all I've ever done.
You know, John had an incredible career. He was already a living legend, had already cemented his place in the Hall of Fame.
Elway could have walked out and had the storybook ending. And he's like, "That's a good team. I'm going to come back and do this again."
I think he knew he had the team. He knew he had the running game. He realized, hey, we got a chance to go back to back.
A lot of times I've always thought the football players have a tough time realizing when they're done or if they can still play because of the way they look out of their own eyes. And so I had a great conversation with my dad, and he thought I could still play. I did too, but I just wanted that confirmation from him. Plus, you know, like I said, we had a great football team coming back and really felt like we had another chance to go back and compete for another world championship.
Bottom line is I'm coming back so we can win, and that's the only reason you play the game is to win.
I guess it starts from when you're young. The quarterback is the assumed leader of the team. And some quarterbacks embrace that role, some don't. But John, he fully embraced that role. He was a great leader, not just for the offense, but for the entire team.
Hard doubling left, point dagger, wide shallow cross. Someone, hey, Diller there.
John was dominant because, one, he was blessed with some unbelievable ability. Not many people had his arm. He also had this incredible leadership quality about him that brought people together.
He was always the guy watching the tape. He's always the guy that makes sure that he was always prepared for anything that people could bring to him. You feed off of him without him saying a word.
It wasn't until, you know, our first practice that I found out quickly who he was. And I think I ran a slant route and I dropped the ball. And I did not drop a lot of passes in my whole career. He was either going to yell at me, scream at me, give Coach Shanahan the signal. I didn't know what was going to happen, but instead, he literally, you know, patted me on the back, said, "That's all right, Eddie, let's go get it again," and threw me the ball the very next play.
I remember dropping a pass, and I was scared to go back to the huddle. I'm like, can y'all just tell me to play? And I stay out the huddle because I'm standing close to John. Mentally, I was off. He got us in the huddle. He said, "Hey, you're here now. You're good." It came right back to me the very next play.
He believed in his teammates. He inspired them. He helped them become the best versions of themselves.
He wanted not perfection, but he wanted excellence. When you're around somebody like that, it becomes contagious. And so when you're in that huddle, you are playing for number 7. That's the guy that you want to try to get his respect. His competitive kind of fire, you see it, and you try to match it because you know you have to.
You don't realize what a competitor he is. I mean, he just loves to play. He loves to compete. And he does not give in, and he's going to find a way to get it done.
Our mindset was, we have a better team this year than we had last year. You know, we still had John Elway and Terrell Davis, so it was like, we were going to win every game if you have them, right?
It was such an exciting offense. They had all the weapons, all the exciting players. Rod Smith, you had Ed McCaffrey, Shannon Sharp, obviously the Shanahan running game.
They keep him over there. There was nobody over here. You just seal that outside man, I'm gone.
We were solid on defense. We had a lot of playmakers. We was really down for whatever the challenge was.
Remember, we had Neil Smith, who came from the Chiefs, but now was on our side.
Love these big games. Huge.
I remember Tyrone Braxton, Bill Romanowski, loved Steve Atwater. That's what was so fun about the team. You had stars all over the place.
We were on to something special. We just didn't know it at the time.
We had a great team. A lot of Hall of Fame caliber guys, and we were really tight. The chemistry was really good.
Confidence from our team never waned. Like, we can be in a fight, and we knew when the clock went to 0, we were going to come out on top.
Everybody wants a piece of you. Everybody come to play.
You get the best from every team you play, and that's why you have to be ready each week in and week out, because we knew we were going to get challenged because of the fact that we'd won the Super Bowl the year before.
With their eyes set on another Super Bowl victory, the Broncos rallied behind their veteran quarterback and got off to a hot start.
They're stomping their feet more than 75,000 at Mile High, and we're underway as the Broncos defend their crown.
We lost 2 good players in Brian Habib and Gary Zimmerman, but our offensive line's playing with a lot of confidence. I think our players will come in and play well.
Elway on first down from the 18, faking, Looking, McCaffrey trying to go long and deep, and he gets free, and McCaffrey stretches out to make the catch.
In Denver's home opener, John Elway passed for 257 yards and a touchdown, and the Broncos beat the Patriots 27-21.
I'm just going to take it one game at a time and really enjoy it, and I'm fortunate to be on a good football team.
The following week, the Broncos cruised past the Cowboys to open the season 2-0.
Darrell Davis, 63 yards.
But Elway injured his hamstring late in that game.
He's coming out. Yeah, he can't play.
You look down at Bubby Brister getting ready on the sideline, and he doesn't even have time to warm up.
Coming up, the Broncos face adversity early in the season and must rely on depth and defense to remain undefeated without their starting quarterback. After winning their first 2 games at home, the Broncos hit the road for an AFC West battle with the Oakland Raiders. Elway was determined to play, but after re-injuring his hamstring, Bubby Brister entered the game in the second quarter.
Brister, play action, Loftus, Griffith, touchdown.
You never want to see your quarterback go down. Luckily, we knew John was going to be returning, but Bubby came in and just didn't miss a beat.
You know, my job was just keep the Ferrari running until John got back healthy.
Bubby's mentality and the way that he played the game, I think that he could step right in for me, and everybody trusted him.
He kept the team, alive in the locker room, on the field. He has tons of energy.
He was there to say, you bet, coach, and play what he was asked to. And he did play, and we were undefeated in the games that Bubby played.
You know, we had a lot of faith in Bubby, and rightfully so. He was a fantastic, amazing NFL quarterback.
Brister has a man. McCaffrey's open for the touchdown.
What was fun about that team was that we had the names that people kind of knew, the household names, but we had a lot of playmakers. Everybody was important to the success of the team. And that was what Mike always preached.
Broncos run it well behind Terrell Davis, throw it well behind Bubby Brister. They do not turn it over at all again today.
From the top to the bottom, we all felt like we were on the same level. That we felt like, hey, we're a vital part of this team.
John Elway is out with a bad back. Bubby Brister will start at quarterback.
The nagging injuries is, what was difficult for me. So Bubby had a big part of that 98 season because of the fact when he did come in, he played so well.
Here's Brister, the Eagles blitz. Brister going deep to Smith, who's in a neighborhood by himself.
Boy, this is way too easy now. I was able to help us win a few games, but we had an unbelievable team that year.
They were just dominating people right from the jump in the regular season. Mike Shanahan called the dogs off in a number of games midway through the third quarter.
After about game 5, it was like, okay, who's going to beat us?
We felt like we were Super Bowl favorites probably for the whole season, but there's no guarantees. You still have to go out and get it done. And man, do we have some guys that went out and got it done.
Blitz coming, Warren Moon, not very agile, in trouble, and Steve Atwater coming on the blitz.
Denver saw its record improve to 6-0 with a win in Seattle.
Final score 21-16. The Broncos remain undefeated.
The momentum continued after the bye week against Jacksonville in a game that saw Terrell Davis become the third back in NFL history to reach 1,000 yards in the first 7 games of a season.
If you ask me, I think Terrell Davis right now is the best player in the National Football League.
Halfway through the season, I had over 1,000 yards. And that was the first time I'd heard somebody mention 2,000 yards. Week to week, you're just trying to win games. And now it's easier said than done. It's hard because you can hear the outside noise.
As Denver advanced to 7-0, the day was capped off with Jason Elam's record-tying 63-yard field goal.
I remember my holder, he looked up at me right before the snap and he said, hey, this is for the record, right? And so that's what you don't want going through your head right before a kick.
Well, what do you guys think? Tied the record, longest field goal in the history of the game, 63 yards.
Elway to throw. On the run, into the end zone, touchdown.
A hard-fought battle in Cincinnati tested the Broncos' grit. With the game tied at 26 and 2 minutes left on the clock, Elway embarked on the 45th game-winning drive of his career.
Down the middle, has his man. That's McCaffrey.
John's deal was there was always this quiet confidence and this smirk on his face. Like, regardless of the situation, he'd walk into the huddle. You felt like we got them right where we want them. We've got a chance to win.
We knew if we went out and played like we're capable of, we could beat anybody on a given day. And I think the personality is just all mixed, but we also had the same goal.
8-0 is the best start in franchise history for the Denver Broncos.
The Broncos headed back to Mile High Stadium to face the top-ranked San Diego defense.
First time we've just gotten word on Elway. He strained a rib cage muscle, will not return.
He's going to give you everything he got. If he said he couldn't go, you didn't try to push him because he knew his body very well.
Play fake as Bristol rolls right, looks back left, throws a wide open Terrell Davis touchdown.
Good job, Bobby. Good job, baby.
Go, fake pitch. Here comes Brister. And he is in for the touchdown. McCaffrey.
With John Elway hurt tonight, Bubby Brister will start his fourth game. They're averaging 35 points a game with him at quarterback, and of course Terrell Davis on the ground averaging 5.5 per carry. And nothing can derail the Denver Bronco Express. They have not lost a game in almost a year.
It struck me when they got to double-digit wins and no losses that this might be a team that can run the table.
I'll never forget Glenn Cudrez. He consistently said it. 10-0, we're 6 away, and it was him, but we all thought it.
You know, what Mike did so well for so many years was, keep those expectations really high for us. We were thinking about going undefeated, and that was going to be our goal with winning a world championship.
Weeks 12, 13, and 14 saw the return of John Elway as Denver beat the Raiders, the Chargers, and the Chiefs once again. With 3 games remaining, the team had clinched a playoff spot as they headed on the road to face the Giants.
The potential of going undefeated puts a ton of pressure on you, and it's mostly because you have to answer that question.
You already got the pressure to repeat, and now you got the pressure to go undefeated. It's that unseen opponent.
That's all people could talk about was, being undefeated. My mindset was, hey, let's get ready for the Giants and let's try to take care of business.
The Denver Broncos are looking for that perfect season.
The Giant players, they're excited about playing a 13-0 team. They want to ruin history, not be part of it.
They played a really, really great game. We were off our game just a little bit, and it still went down to the wire.
Right here. Smart and hard, and move it down.
The Broncos found themselves trailing late in the fourth quarter, and an unsuccessful Hail Mary meant their unbeaten streak had come to an end.
A lot of people would suggest that, hey, you didn't have the pressure of having to be an undefeated team. You could just relax. I would prefer to go undefeated on the season, but maybe it was a good thing.
We just really let ourselves down when we went up to New York and lost a football game, but it wasn't the end of us.
The New York Giants have knocked Elway and the Broncos off their first loss of the year.
Now, people don't always realize we went a calendar year without a loss. Try it sometime. That's pretty hard to do.
People are pointing it out. Now that we've lost that game, all the focus is on the 2,000-yard season now.
We now return to Super Bowl 33, back to back, presented by Children's Hospital, Colorado.
While an undefeated season was scratched off the Broncos' goal sheet after Week 15, there was still hope for another record to be broken. Terrell Davis needed 199 yards in the final 2 games of the season to reach 2,000, but Miami was determined to rain on Denver's parade.
In our 15th game of the season, with a number 1 seed, we got the best record in the AFC, so I got to go for it. Well, that game didn't turn out as well as I would have liked.
Terrell Davis, 16 carries, 29 yards.
We had everything locked up, and so I think that, we weren't as ready to play the next week in Miami as we should have been.
The game plan, it seemed quite odd. I'm like, man, it's not our normal game plan. We normally have more detail.
We actually did not even put a game plan in for the Giants or the Dolphins. We just were going to kind of take a little bit of a mental break, but still practice hard and do the little things the right way. But we weren't going to put a game plan in, especially against Miami, because we thought we might face them in the playoffs, and it'd be an advantage for them and not us.
And the Broncos, who went 13-0, are now 13-2 with Seattle coming up.
Miami was very thrilled about beating the Broncos, and they wanted the Broncos to know that.
I just left the game thinking we were a better team. Like, there's no way we would lose to them if we played them again.
That did re-energize our team and say, okay, now our focus is back on winning the world championship. After that Miami embarrassment, we ended up getting it turned back around.
We're really good about disciplining ourselves. holding each other accountable.
We have an opportunity with this group of men. We don't know how long we're going to be together, and we want to get the job done.
So that's 2 games we lost in a row. We're on the bus, and Derek Lavelle, was another running back, is sitting next to me. He's got the stat sheet. He said, you almost had 2,000 yards in the season. He thought it was over. And I did too, because I didn't think I was going to play in the last game of the season.
The numbers on Terrell Davis. He needs 170 yards today to break the 2,000-yard mark.
I'm expecting maybe I'll get in, I'll play a half, and they'll pull me out. I get a couple of carries, and I'm just getting 7 yards here, 5 yards here. I get 13 yards there. So in the first half, yards are starting to pile up a little bit.
He's zeroing in on 2,000.
And I just try to keep doing what I've been doing all season long. Just play the game and let whatever happens happen.
John Elway passed for 4 touchdowns to put the Broncos up 28-7 early in the fourth quarter, making him just the 3rd quarterback ever to throw 300 career touchdown passes. It was now time for Denver's star running back to take center stage.
Terrell Davis can become only the 4th player in NFL history to go over 2,000 yards. He is 7 yards shy of that mark.
The crowd is going nuts and everybody's screaming in the stadium.
And this crowd is on their feet.
I am getting ready for the ball, and then my mind just starts racing. What if I fumble this ball? What am I going to do once I hit the 2,000-yard mark? What if I lose yards on this play? The ball snapped as I'm thinking.
2nd down and 6 from the 47. Davis breaks the tackle. He's got 2,000.
I look up on the scoreboard and I see the 2,000 yards flashing. That was pretty cool. I ain't gonna lie, that's pretty cool.
Well, to be honest with you, anytime you win an award like that, a rushing title or an MVP title, TD would be the first to tell you that, it's a product of the offensive line.
We had Harry Swain, we had Dan Neal, we had Tom Nalen, Mark Flair, we had T-Bone, Tony Jones. Those 5 guys and then guys who rotated in and out, man, they paved the way for me. That was really the foundation of a great run game. And then you throw in Shannon Sharp as our tight end who's blocking his butt off, Rod Smith, Ed McCaffrey, Howard Griffith. I mean, we just had everybody contributing to that run game.
You're part of a history where there's only a few guys that have ever rushed for 2,000 yards. So, yeah, it's an honor to be a part of that.
He had great vision, and when it's time to stick his foot in the ground and get upfield, he did it. He was the best in the league.
Running the ball is what made us so successful because everything was based off the running game. And to have a guy to be able to give the ball to a guy like Terrell Davis, was tremendous.
We had a rule in our locker room as far as receivers, your guy cannot make the tackle on number 30 because we knew how special this guy was. It made the game so much easier when you have a running back. They got to stack 8 in the box and stop him.
It was pick your poison. Do you want to be beat by the pass or do you want to be beat by the run?
And here's the thing, you stack 8 in the box, you still ain't going to stop him.
Terrell and that offensive line, you just don't see that kind of dominance in the NFL.
He was able to get over 2,000 yards in that last game. Everybody was so proud because they knew they were a piece of his success.
TD, 2,008 yards rushing for the season.
The Broncos had the best record in the AFC and the league MVP in Davis. Just as Mike Shanahan suspected, their first opponent was Miami.
In Super Bowl 32, we had to go on the road and win 2 games on the road. And so for us to have the home field wrapped up and the success that we had at Mile High, we felt good about having those playoff games at home. Plus, to have Miami come back in there, 3 weeks after they, beat us pretty good down in Miami, added the extra incentive.
We were chopping at the bit just to go out there and prove that what happened in Miami was fluky at best.
I wasn't worried at all. They were talented and they were good, but I just, it's just one of those feelings where I'm looking around the locker room thinking we are way too good to lose to these guys again.
When it came to playoff football, we knew anybody that stepped across the line with us who was going to dominate, and it just happened to be the Dolphins on that day.
We definitely marked that date on our calendars, and we showed up and we took care of business.
I mean, halfway through that game, you're going, they beat you guys?
I think they wanted to prove a point. I thought they just beat the dog out of the Dolphins.
A dominant performance left no doubt that the Broncos were the real deal. The offense scored 3 rushing touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. Meanwhile, the defense came up huge, holding Miami to just 3 points.
Marino steps up, throws intercepted.
Hey, Super Bowl will be at their house and they ain't even invited.
We thought we could run the football on them because we didn't really have a game plan the first time we played them, and we thought they might go in there a little overconfident.
Put it to them, pretty much. We put it to them. And only thing I can remember in the Miami game, it was my long run. You know, out of win for a long time, but it was a fun game. You know, guys make plays all over the field.
Neil Smith for the touchdown. 79 yards.
Afterwards, we weren't super hyped. So, yeah, we did it. No, we still had a lot more work to do, but that was one sign that hey, we're on the right track, and we got to continue doing what we're doing.
Man, that was a great team effort. We talked about a 3-round fight. That's round 1. That's a great start. Then we come back, ready to work.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Mile High Stadium on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. It's AFC Championship time with the New York Jets and the Denver Broncos. Will this be John Elway's last game ever at Mile High Stadium? We think so.
That's what we all been waiting for. Let's go out, play Bronco football. Now go out there and play harder and longer than they do. We'll win the game.
Which way is it blowing? Almost straight across.
You know, I remember that championship game, how tough of a day it was to play, how windy it was, how cold it was.
There was about 35-mile-per-hour winds. I mean, it was really humming. And one thing we wanted to make sure we didn't do is put our team in situation to turn the football over. So we weren't going to throw as much.
The Jets were a really good team, a really good run defense, just big, strong guys.
They really came out of the chutes and played well the first half. We weren't playing our best.
The first half of the AFC Championship game saw the Broncos fumble away field position on a bad snap during a punt, while the Jets missed a field goal and had 2 fumbles of their own. After 2 ugly quarters of play, Denver was lucky to be trailing by only a field goal.
A 33-yard attempt. Puts it down. The kick by Hall on the way, and it silences the crowd. And we are going to the break with the Jets ahead, 3-0 at halftime.
We knew we could beat the Jets, but Minnesota and Atlanta was playing in the NFC Championship game. And when Atlanta upset Minnesota, we kind of lost focus a little bit.
You know, it's not a guarantee that we're gonna beat the Jets. So we realize that we gotta turn things up and get moving. Otherwise, we're gonna be home.
After failing to move the ball on their first 2 offensive possessions of the second half, Tom Ruin's punt was blocked and recovered by the Jets, setting up an easy touchdown.
Blocked it cleanly and it was recovered. Doesn't really matter who recovers it because it's going to be the Jets' ball at the half-yard line.
Try Martin one time into the line. Testaverde takes the snap, the pitch to Martin running left. Touchdown, New York Jets, Curtis Martin.
Denver trailed 10-0 with 27 minutes left to play.
The Jets game was a little scary. One of the greatest things about the NFL playoffs is you're not getting the best out of 5 or the best out of 7. You know, one game, 14-2 or not, you have a bad game. See you later, go home.
The Broncos responded on the next possession with a scoring drive of their own.
One of the big plays in that game, John threw a ball that was thrown towards the south end zone. Eddie McCaffrey made the catch. It was a big, big play. I remember on that play, it just felt like everybody in the stands could exhale.
John, short drop, looks right, plenty of time, throws, pass over the middle, caught. Howard Griffith's goal line, touchdown, Denver.
The players needed, the fans needed this too.
I don't think there was ever a panic at any point during that game. It was just get it turned around now. We cannot let what happened in 96 happen again.
It showed what kind of football team we did have to be able to come out in the second half and really dominate that second half and take over.
With the margin cut to just 3 points, what happened on the ensuing kickoff was the momentum shift the Broncos needed.
Elam to kick it off. Either Meggett or Kevin Williams, and he kicks it short and high. They have to let it hit. It's a free ball. It is a free ball. It is loose on the ground. They dive for it. Broncos say they've got it.
Sometimes you just need a spark. That was the spark. It was a special teams turnover that got us the ball back.
The wind was blowing so hard that the return man couldn't catch the ball because he had to run up too far. And right then, I was like, the Mile High Magic is here. Huge play. We needed the ball back.
Placement down. Jason's got it. It's on its way. It is perfect.
That was actually probably one of Jason's best games ever because he was playing the wind.
We started running the ball more effectively, and TD had over 100 yards again, which was kind of always the formula to winning football games for us.
Terrell, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Can you say MVP?
The fourth quarter began with Denver ahead 20-10, and the Broncos defense came alive, forcing 3 turnovers to close out the game.
Look at the hit by Steve Atwater.
That's one of those hits that you see on NFL films where you say, ow.
I still remember that play. He just ran a little slant route, and I saw him, and I ran in and made contact with him, and he coughed it up.
Romanowski falls on it, puts down Denver.
It's fun taking the ball away because if you take the ball away, most of the time you have a better chance of winning football games.
6 turnovers by them, and we didn't have any turnovers. So if you win the turnover ratio by 6-0, you're going to win most games, and that's the way we played.
Testaverde fires over the middle, pass deflected and intercepted again. And you can make your reservations for Miami. The Denver Broncos are going back to the Super Bowl. They are AFC champions for the 2nd consecutive year. Back to back. John Elway is going to have the opportunity to be the first quarterback in NFL history to start in 5 Super Bowls.
How about one last message for all your fans here and around the country? I love you!
First of all, we beat a heck of a football team today. Very well coached. Our players stepped up. They made the plays. They're the ones right there. Look at them. Fantastic job, guys. And thank you, fans.
Best coach in the NFL, period.
Denver was now 1 game away from becoming back-to-back world champions. When we return, the Broncos prepare to make history.
We now return to Super Bowl 33, back to back, presented by Children's Hospital, Colorado.
You're going to hear this a lot in the next 2 weeks. You're going to be going against Dan Reeves, your former boss, in the Super Bowl. What about going against Dan Reeves in the Super Bowl?
Well, I'll be honest with you, at times we were best friends. He's just done an incredible job in Atlanta. Well coached, you're playing hard. It's going to be a great game. We're just happy to be there.
To a man, the Bronco players insist it's not about a coaching feud. It's about one thing: win the ring.
In the weeks leading up to Super Bowl 33, there was speculation that a shared history made this game personal. But the Broncos blocked out the noise and remained laser focused.
One of the things that I remember vividly about, both Super Bowls here, 32 and 33, those were business trips.
We got a job to do, and our job's not finished until we take care of Atlanta.
We got to act like this is our first time here, and we're as hungry as ever, and we want it more than anybody in the world.
Mike Shanahan helped us prepare really by doing what we've been doing all year long.
The way he went to motivate guys and keep us chasing that cherry all the time, the carrot on top of the cake all the time was what he was best at. And so, he had a rare combination of having a great relationship with everybody on the football team, but also having his thumb down on us. And I think that's, really what made us that good also, and the fact that the challenge that Mike gave us.
We were really dialed in, mature football teams when it came to the purpose for being there.
I think everybody was locked in. We always was. We never did individual stuff. So it made it easy for us to stay focused.
Each guy that you had on the team was like a captain of a football team. And so we had a bunch of captains, a bunch of leaders, and that's why that year was the type of year it was.
That team in 98 might be the most mentally tough team that's ever existed in Denver.
I wasn't even really concerned about the Falcons. We were already prepared for the game. And so everything else was just more polishing.
We practiced hard every day. We didn't try to overwork them by hitting them, but we did things full speed. And then we tried to do the little things the right way to make sure we were ready for the game.
And that was the great thing about Mike Shanahan as a head coach. You never felt a panic. You never felt like he was doing things that weren't true to who we were. And that was reassuring to know you can go into a game knowing that the game plan you had was the best out there.
Programs. There we go. Denver Broncos and the Dirty Birds, right here. They ain't want to see us here, baby. They ain't want to see us here. You can see it in their eye. You can see it in their eye, baby. You are the world champions. They don't respect you.
We've been here 2 weeks. A lot's been going on, and now they're going to play. Yep. John Elway, you wonder if this is his last game or not.
In talking to Mike Shanahan, he says John Elway will retire.
This is what we played so hard for. Just remember, we can't win it in the first quarter, second quarter. We got to play 60 minutes of Bronco football. We'll be world champs. Let's go Broncos on 3. 1, 2, 3. Broncos. Let's go, baby.
It's something we dreamed about since we were little bitty kids. We have 60 minutes of fun and get out and win this thing on 3. 1, 2, 3. Win!
We are underway. Super Bowl 33. The flash bulbs are off, and so are the Falcons. Tim Dwight at the 10, the 15, the 20. Takes it to the outside. Has a little room. 25-30. Tim Dwight trying to turn it up and trying to turn it outside, and does.
Atlanta got off to a fast start on the opening drive, moving the ball all the way to the Denver 9-yard line. But a big defensive play would keep them from converting on third down.
Chandler drops straight back, pressure, and he's down. Romanowski's got him, and down he goes at the 17-yard line.
Thanks to Bill Romanowski's monster sack, the Falcons had to settle for a field goal. It was now time for John Elway and the offense to get to work.
Number one, we knew we were playing a good football team. They weren't getting enough credit. They were 14-2 as well. And we knew they were going to take away our running game, or at least try to. But we still wanted to run the ball because we thought that would help us with the passing game.
Come on, baby, get in the end zone.
And he is spinning. Is he into the end zone? No, he's very, very close. He is brought down as he was upended about the 1-yard line.
The Broncos capped off the 80-yard drive with a 1-yard touchdown run by Howard Griffith. But the 7-3 lead came at a price. After setting up the Broncos' first touchdown, Shannon Sharp came up from his crucial 14-yard reception limping.
Watch right here. Ray Buchanan is going to come and hit him right on his left knee.
Sharp stayed in the game, but on Denver's next possession, it became clear he needed medical treatment after a missed catch resulted in a Falcons interception.
Hey, that's all right. Shake it off. Shake it off. You'll be all right.
Denver's defense ensured that the turnover was meaningless with a huge stop on 4th and 1.
4th and 6 inches.
Handoff, toss, right side, bounce deep as Anderson. He's in trouble, and the Broncos have him.
Glenn Contreras played a big role on that play. It remains 7-3 Denver.
Word from the Denver bench, Shannon Sharp will not return to the game.
You can't have a guy go down and just have a big drop off. That team did not have a drop off really anywhere.
Regardless of if you were a starter or a non-starter, you were a part of the team. You always made us better. We're all one.
We had trust, we had faith, we had belief in each other. And so it didn't matter who played. It didn't matter what position you put him in. That guy was going to dominate.
Elway relied on backup tight end Byron Chamberlain to open things up for Rod Smith and Terrell Davis, setting up a field goal by Jason Elam.
Kick on its way. It is through the uprights. It is now the Broncos 10, the Falcons 3.
Atlanta responded with a big drive of its own. But once again, a stout red zone defense forced the Falcons to settle for a field goal attempt.
Here's the snap. The hold, the kick is on the way. It's up, and it is no good.
Morton Anderson's miss was just the opportunity Mike Shanahan was looking for.
Mike Shanahan, a very, very aggressive coach, as we've been pointing out before, one who likes to attack a defense.
The thing that made it so cool is the coaches changed the play right before it happened. Kubiak and Shanahan come to me and say, hey, we're going to call keep pass, and instead of you doing this, run a post.
What I realized is throughout the first quarter that Ray was following me around and they were shading over towards Rod, and Coach Shanahan noticed that as well.
We could see beforehand that since that free safety was jumping a crossing route, that if Rod did a little stutter comeback post, that he'd have a great chance to get open.
And he said, we're going to tell you, we're going to tell John, not going to tell anybody else.
I want to go near left with a C counter motion. Bang 19 hand quarterback keep pass right exposed.
Usually when coaches draw plays up in the dirt, they don't work. But when you have John Elway and Rod Smith, it works.
Oh, it's going to be wide open.
Red 2800. Elway boots and rolls to his right, stops, loads it up, throws down deep the middle of the field. Rod Smith's got it. Here we go. 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Rod Smith, Denver touchdown. 80 yards for John Elway.
John threw a perfect ball. Ron made a great catch, and we got a little momentum at that time.
I just cared about us winning. To me, it was backyard football. My friends versus your friends. You have no chance.
After 17 straight points, Atlanta managed a field goal to close out the first half.
Here's the snap. Morton on the way. It is up, and this time it is good. So Morton Anderson hits from 28 yards out before halftime. It's now Denver 17. Atlanta 6.
In the third quarter, it appeared cracks were starting to show in the Broncos game.
Elam waits, the snap, the kick, it's down, it's on the way, it's up, and it is no good. So the Falcons with an opening.
Hey, Greg, they got no choice but to throw now.
We actually told Greg Robinson, put the pressure on us. We knew that we could load the front up and stop their run. With myself playing a lot of man and Darian Gordon, Atwater playing a lot of zone on the other side, Tyrone Braxton playing a lot of man. We wanted to go get that ball back and give it to Elway.
Chandler drops straight back, no four-man rush, looking left, pass deflected, it's up in the air, pass going to be intercepted. This is Darian Gordon.
He never surprised me anything he did. I mean, him returning the punts, him intercepting passes. I don't think he surprised any of us by the plays that he made.
Chandler throws to the end zone, pass is going to be picked off, and Darian Gordon, we go again, 25-30, 35-40.
Let's go, baby, let's go, baby. Give him a touchdown. You can't get up a touchdown. You haven't yet. You're not gonna.
Third and fourth quarter, we were having fun. I just never wanted that game to end. Caught a pass from John Elway in the fourth quarter. That was the last completion that he had. That is, pretty cool.
Elway with an empty backfield runs a quarterback draw, lunges to the goal line. He is in.
Yeah.
Touchdown, John Elway.
We fall over the goal line together on the QB draw, and there's a couple bodies on top of us, so we're just kind of pinned face mask to face mask. And I just said, "Hey, buddy, how you doing?" And he just started laughing. He's like, "You're an idiot." And it was a great moment that, we won a championship together, and our second one in a row.
Super Bowl 33 is history. The Denver Broncos have beaten the Atlanta Falcons 34-19, and they are world champions once again. And if it's not his last game, it sure seems like it.
John Elway, I've just been informed, is officially this game's most valuable player.
The best part about Elway winning the MVP for that Super Bowl is that the Falcons dared him to do it.
Great job. Oh, thank you. Thank you, bro.
At the end of the day, John had almost 340 yards passing. We kind of dominated the game on both sides, but mainly in the passing game because they did try to take the running game away from us.
He embodies a competitor. He embodies a champion. He embodies what we all strive to be, and that's the best version of ourselves, man. And that's what John was.
I don't know if it's his last one.
Hell no.
Keep the pressure on.
I thought very hard about coming back in 1999. I know we had a really good football team again coming back. Physically, it was starting to take a toll. And I also wanted to be one that stepped away maybe 1 year too early instead of 1 year too late. And so therefore, riding off on the sunset with 2 world championships, I thought was the best way for me to go. And so I decided to retire.
When John Elway retired, honestly, it was like, good. Not that we were glad to see him go, but like, that's how you go. That's how you do it.
We all graduated from high school, graduated from college. I'm just graduating from pro football. I've got all these thank yous, and I'm not going to make it through them.
John's success with the Broncos is, I don't think there's anybody you could point to and say single-handedly raised a franchise from where it was to where it is now.
Even though he lost a lot of big games and some Super Bowls, he never gave in, worked extremely hard, and was able to get the job done at the end with a couple Super Bowl wins.
You stay long enough and you're good enough that you can string back-to-back Super Bowl victories together. That's a nice way to end it.
4 words. This one's for you.
One of my favorite things about back-to-back Super Bowls is the Broncos were always the lovable losers because it was always they got to the Super Bowl, but they lost. Now, when you tell people you're a Broncos fan, it's associated with winning. We can hang our hats as being fans of one of the best franchises in the NFL.
The margin of error is really, really small. So when you can win 1, that's cause to celebrate. If you can win 2, and by the way, win them back-to-back, you have put yourself and your franchise in rarefied company.
And I think it elevates you to a place that's made of marble and stone and is not going to be chipped away easy.
To be able to look at what we accomplished as a group, it always be cherished. That's the one, we'll look at that and be like, man, you guys realize what we've done.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 98-99 back-to-back Super Bowl champions.
All scattered around the country, around the world after we won, for whatever reasons. We didn't all get to finish our career together.
That was a special time for all of us. And I think one of the moments that we'll never forget. And in order to hold on to those times, we got to go back to them.
25 years ago,
The Denver Broncos enjoyed one of their most historic seasons in franchise history. Today, we welcome back that dominant 1998 Denver Broncos team.
The further you get away from the magic, I think the more you appreciate how beautiful a season like that is.
Like any franchise, there's going to be up years, there's going to be down years, but this is a good franchise, and they will be back, and they'll always be making the efforts to be that great team.
We have new ownership, we have new coaching staff, new players, but something about those trophies, they're still there. There's a lingering effect to winning.
And it took a long time for us to win a world championship. My 15th and 16th year, it was a long wait, but I know I gave everything I had. I worked at it hard. It was important for us to win, and it was important for us as a football team to make our fans proud of us.
The thing that I probably like most about playing professional football or just playing football is the competition that it brings about within myself and within another ball player. You know, I enjoy going best against the best. That's going to bring out the best in you. And as a competitor and as a guy with a lot of self-drive and enjoying doing a good job, I really enjoy playing against the best people in the NFL.
The benchmark for Broncos linebackers is dominance. From Tom Jackson to Carl Mecklenburg, Simon Fletcher, DeMarcus Ware, and Von Miller. Denver's linebackers have built a legacy of stopping the run, preventing the pass, and rushing quarterbacks with elite skill and unbridled intensity. But even among the Broncos' long list of all-pro linebackers, there is one man who stands out, Randy Gradishar.
He was always in the right place. He always knew where the ball was going. He was never fooled, and a fantastic tackler.
Once he latched on to you, he was going to get you down.
He was such a great player on a great defense.
He had a great nose for the ball. He really did.
Randy always seemed to make big plays.
In 10 seasons with the Broncos, Gradishar defined what it meant to patrol the middle of the field.
Exactly what we needed as a leader.
Randy was heart and soul of our defense.
Gradishar, as we know, is one of the most opportunistic, intelligent, effective linebackers in the game.
Here's the defense. You can see Gradishar going to work. Tackled by Randy Gradishar, who averages about 14 tackles a game. Just outstanding.
Before he was the anchor of the legendary Orange Crush defense, Gradishar was a basketball player and a grocery clerk in Champion, Ohio.
My dad started a grocery store back in 1945, right after World War II. I started working at the grocery store when I was 11 years old.
You know, Randy would stock the shelves and so forth and so on.
We didn't even have football until I was in 9th grade. I thought I was better in basketball.
He didn't know how good he was. He was just playing football, and he'd make it all the tackles, whatever.
And I didn't know that my high school football coach sent out films on me.
He was at his dad's grocery store stocking shelves. And he gets a phone call at the store, and they said, "Can you come to the high school? Woody Hayes is here and would like to meet with you."
I didn't know. I said, "Who's Woody Hayes?" We talked for an hour and a half, asking me all kinds of different questions. And his last question was, he said, "Well, what's your dad do?" I said, "Well, he owns a grocery store 2 miles down the road." He said, "Well, let's go see him." I said, "Okay."
It was Woody and Randy's dad. And by the time they spent about an hour together, Randy came in and his dad was like, "You're going to Ohio State and you're going to play for him."
Coach didn't even mention my name. He didn't say anything about me going to Ohio State, a scholarship, none of that. What they talked about was World War II.
A 3-year starter at Ohio State and a 2-time All-American, Gradishar led the Buckeyes to an undefeated record in his senior year, including a win in the Rose Bowl.
I mean, Woody Hayes said he was the best player he ever coached. So go back and look at some of the players Woody Hayes coached.
Just having the opportunity to be part of that, never look back on my decision to go into Ohio State for sure.
He came out of a program that was just second to none.
Going into my senior year, there were some scouts coming around, and eventually they said, "Randy, you're pretty good. You could get drafted in the NFL."
Before the 1974 draft, a knee injury cast doubt on Gradishar's viability as a pro, but that didn't stop John Ralston from selecting him 14th overall.
He showed up in a big station wagon as a 22-year-old. We saw him and we were like, "What?" He doesn't want the sports car. He doesn't want the cool car. He's driving his family in and he's got a station wagon, and we're like, it's a different guy.
He was assigned the number 52, which he wore for 2 years before switching to number 53. Gradishar quickly picked up the defensive playbook and became a starter midway through his rookie season.
Randy just came in with the responsibility of taking over this veteran group. We all saw how hard he practiced, watched his leadership skills. You could feel it. We were like, okay, lead us.
We were always an hour early before everybody, came into practice. We were watching film. What do they do on third down? What do they do in short yardage? What do they do inside the 20? What do they do out in the field? That was all mental. Once you start understanding that, it just certainly became pretty easy at that point.
Randy played his way into the spotlight in 1975 with a game-sealing pick six with America watching on Monday Night Football.
After the game, Bart Starr, the Packers head coach, came into the Broncos locker room to congratulate Randy and the Broncos players on a great win. It was a chilling moment.
Throughout the 1970s, the Broncos rose to prominence in the National Football League.
Prior to 1967, they were woeful. And then when Lou Saban was hired, 67 to 71, he rebuilt much of the Broncos.
Saban's replacement, coach John Ralston, enhanced an already talented roster with the addition of a powerful defensive unit.
The Broncos were just turning the corner. 1973 was the first winning season the team ever had. And then from that point on, the team did nothing but have winning seasons. And Randy was a big part of that. He was the core member of the Orange Crush defense.
John Ralston, from 72 to 76, he drafted that whole defense.
That's the idea. Great job.
We go out there and try to play an intimidating type of game where we can intimidate with our quickness and our personnel. We have a couple mean guys on our team, and they try and intimidate by their actions on the field. But basically our characteristic is to go out there and trying to force a turnover, try to force the quarterback to throw quickly, try to create a fumble.
When defensive coordinator Joe Collier switched to a 3-4 in 1976, the Orange Crush defense was poised to dominate.
Anybody who's followed the Denver Broncos knows that Orange Crush defense was pretty good.
You think about Lyle, you think about Reuben, you think about Barney, you think about Randy, Bob Swenson, Joe Rizzo, the Merchant Marine, Steve Foley, Louis Wright, Billy Thompson, Dennis. Each one of them in their own way had these leadership skills that just came through, and we were all willing to accept each other.
Adelaide Rizzo! Adelaide defense!
We were a great defense, and we knew it. We knew we were great.
I think our whole team looked to Randy as the linchpin of that defense. He came to the field with such high intensity. You were expected to raise your level of play as well.
Everybody work hard now! Hey, everybody work hard now. Let's go!
He had a desire to win that he didn't have to talk about. He just had it.
Coming up, Gradishar and the Broncos taste postseason success for the first time. In 1977, behind the leadership of new head coach Red Miller, Gradishar and the Broncos went 12-2 and beat the Raiders in the AFC Championship game to secure Denver's first appearance in the Super Bowl.
Beating the Raiders at Old Mile High Stadium to go to the first Broncos Super Bowl 12. What a great memory, and certainly changed the history of the Denver Broncos.
We got some believers now. Do they believe now?
Denver's quest for a world title came up short in Super Bowl 12, but a foundation of winning had been built.
No one will ever know the kind of football we played that day. 8 turnovers. And we gave up 27 points. And if we'd have had 4 turnovers, we'd have won by 10.
Gradishar returned the following season with a new fire, leading the team to its second consecutive AFC West title and winning the 1978 Defensive Player of the Year award.
I made that decision that I was just going to work hard on the field and off the field to be honored with that. I'm very proud of that.
Randy is still the only Defensive Player of the Year to ever play for the Denver Broncos.
What we designed was a defense where Randy's such a great tackler that if we clear a way for him to get to the ball carrier, he's going to make the tackle.
Most of the time, my kind of tackling is just bring that ball carrier down no matter how you can do it. The real great hit, that only comes maybe half a dozen times within a ball player's career.
Over the course of 10 seasons, Gradishar racked up a mind-boggling 2,049 tackles, 20 interceptions, and 13 fumble recoveries.
Makes me kind of mad when people who have the votes for Hall of Fame induction tell me that they don't believe the statistics on Randy Gradishar.
Tackles have never been official in the league. Tackles are an unofficial statistic. And Joe Collier kept the statistics going over the film play after play after play, time after time after time.
Everybody watches the film the next day. So we would all then sit there and go, oh, Randy made 18 solos and he had 4 assists. The guy had 22 tackles during a football game.
So anybody who suggests that they're not correct is probably suggesting that Gradishar didn't make them. I lied and made them up. Or Joe Collier lied when he was doing them.
I would tell him, I go, man, you're playing by yourself. You don't even need us. We're running around and you're just making tackle after tackle.
It's an insulting thing, really, to suggest that a defensive coordinator is just pulling statistics out of the air.
So once in a while, I get a big hit on short yardage, or if a back breaks through and I get a very good pop on him, that's satisfaction, because it's something that you were taught when you were in high school. You talk about the form hit, get your head into the numbers, keep your feet driving and bring him down. I've only had a couple of those in my career.
Without a doubt, if not the best, one of the top 2 or 3 in the NFL in short yardage and goal line. I've never seen a guy with that ability to find the ball and make plays.
If the guy tries to come over the top, Randy's going to be there. He became known for it.
He was strong enough and big enough that he could take on blockers, shed blockers, and make plays. Yeah, you knew in short yardage it was going to be tough sledding against 53.
It would be a run and play, and he would just go by me like a blur and hit a guy jumping over the line, meet him right in his tracks. And I mean, he was such a short tackler.
The execution part of that was all because each guy did what he was supposed to be doing. And the defensive line were all down. They had their assignments. I lined up deep, and it gave me the opportunity to have a better read.
Gradishar was a dynamic threat with the ability to convert a turnover into a touchdown.
We played a game in Cleveland, a game that, I think we should have won. We're about to score.
And we were in a short yardage defense. Tom Jackson forced Brian Sipe to come out of the pocket, and Brian threw the ball. I hit it with my hand. It bounced off Tom Jackson's chest back into my hand.
Made the interception, Gradishar.
It bounced up to him, and he took off on the run. And I'm like, darn, I should have had that.
Randy took off running, so I took off running too.
He ran back 93 yards. Everybody stopped in the play. I believe it was 93 yards for a touchdown.
And at that point, that was certainly the longest for many years. That was the longest touchdown return a Denver Bronco had had. I told the guys even on that Monday morning film study, nobody could catch me, but I was lumbering down for 93 yards.
I wouldn't say slow. He's quick, but not for 100 yards.
He was one of the NFL's most durable players. In a decade of donning the orange and blue, Gradishar played in 145 straight games, never missing a single one, and often playing hurt.
The work ethic of being able to not miss a game, being prepared for a game, started, I think, from my parents when I was a little kid.
He was just one of those guys who always played and was always great.
He was our leader, and he led by example.
Up next, the legacy of Randy Gradishar in Broncos country. Gradishar's no-nonsense style and Iron Man toughness made him a natural leader who left a lasting impression on his teammates and colleagues.
He and a couple others were big-time pranksters in training camps.
We had some ringleaders, some other ringleaders, but Randy was one of the primary ones.
He's the biggest prankster I ever run into in my life.
Training camps back then were a little different, and you were really tired and really sore, and it kind of was a good distraction, although sometimes you felt like the butt of the jokes.
He would unscrew the shower head so that when I would come in to take a shower, I would turn it on, and water would spray all over the bathroom.
He was the guy who would spray an icy hot product into the undergarment of the players before they took the field.
You start feeling very slowly this heat, and it's getting hotter and hotter and hotter.
Well, the natural response would happen, and they'd all go right into the locker room.
I knew he had done it, and I told him, I said, you and I will be battling. Do you ever do that again?
I certainly said, no, that wasn't me. I didn't do that.
He would get assigned a room right over the entrance to the dorm.
And would fill these garbage cans full of water. And the rookies would come walking out and walking right underneath.
So you'd always be looking up when you would come into the dorm after practice because you knew it was possible that Randy was going to dump water on you.
And I know I got hit one time, so I know what it sounded like. You just hear this, and it makes you look up, and you are drenched.
He enjoyed things at your expense. That's
I was getting pranked quite often, so I got with one of my hunting friends who caught a hognose snake for me. It's non-poisonous, but they're very aggressive, and he's probably 3 feet long.
We had our bags with our clothes in it, some of our clothes in it. We would dump it out on the floor.
It was a little fish net where we had all of our jerseys and jocks and socks and stuff, and they'd wash them and they'd show up in your locker.
So anyway, I put the hognose in Randy's mesh bag and put it up in his locker.
Randy's taking out his fish net to dump his socks and stuff out, and he dumps a big old snake out, and everybody was dying laughing.
Of course, I hate snakes, and from a little kid, even through today.
Oh man, he jumped.
And then it started going around, and some of the other guys were yelling and screaming that it was out.
So then I went running around because I didn't want him to hurt the snake. Grabbed the snake real quick, held it up to his face, and I go, the prank's over? Well, I can still see it. I mean, just plain as day. That was a good one.
Pretty special time for me.
Randy Gradishar's legacy is one of toughness, leadership, and tenacity. He led the team in tackles for 9 consecutive seasons. He was a 7-time Pro Bowler, 6-time All-Pro, and to this day is the only Bronco ever to win Defensive Player of the Year.
I'd like to be remembered for being a well-informed ball player, a ball player who gave that. I don't hear 110% today, but we used to say given 110%.
Randy Gradishar never missed a practice, was always attentive in meetings, not only asked questions, but shared information.
He made a number of outstanding plays at crunch time. That's what the great players do.
I guess the greatest achievement for me would be, my football career. I believe I was blessed with an athletic ability. I certainly didn't know that, but the mentors that came along in my life showed me that.
I am totally befuddled at how he's not in the Hall of Fame. The 2 main linebackers in that decade that Randy played were Jack Lambert and Randy Gradishar. This isn't like wishing somebody should be there. That guy's absolutely a Hall of Famer.
I would just say go back and do the research. And I understand it's a tough task. I mean, I do.
The voters have a very difficult job. Every year, every time they meet, they're looking at a bunch of guys who are all Hall of Famers. They're all great players, and you could put them all in.
Go take a look at any game that Randy played and watch what he did, because he played the same every single time that he was out there.
He is without a doubt a surefire Hall of Fame player. Look at some of his numbers.
Randy is one of 10 linebackers in the history of the league to have 20 interceptions in his career, 10 fumble recoveries. He had 13, and he had 7 Pro Bowls. So of those 10 people, 6 of them went in their first year of eligibility. 3 of them went in within 2 years, and Randy has waited 37 years.
I played with quite a few great guys, which is the reason that, quite frankly, we're a little bit upset that none of those guys have been recognized for the greatness with which they played.
Whether it's the time zone he played in that hurt him or the lack of recognition nationally for the Broncos.
I would say if Randy Gradishar played on the Pittsburgh Steelers or the New York Giants or somewhere on the East Coast, he'd have been a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Bronco players in the last probably decade have started to gain some traction in the Hall of Fame. Before that, it was like, I thought that when there's a real bias here. Hopefully, with guys like John going in, Floyd and TD and Steve and all those guys, it will open the eyes of some of these voters and they'll take a good, long, hard look at Randy.
My hope is that he gets in. For those who played against him and those who played with him, they all know the kind of player that he was and what he's deserving of.
The Hall of Fame is something that it would be a great honor. Maybe someday it's going to happen, but it's something that they just kind of wait each year to see if the name comes up. And if the committee decides on doing that, I'm just grateful and, again, feel blessed that I had the opportunity to play in the NFL and for the Denver Broncos.
He was GM at the time. And he said, yeah, Rod, we're going to let you go. And I'm literally, every emotion in my body was there, but you can't bring it out right now. And I'm getting ready to turn around to go back downstairs and get my stuff. And he said, but we want to keep you on the practice squad. I was like, huh? What do you mean? He said, well, we have a practice squad. I said, I don't understand what that means. He said, well, what's happening is we'll cut you. If you clear waivers in 24 hours, we'll assign you back to the practice squad. He said, you only make $3,300 a week. I'm like, what? I said, dude, you understand I'm the richest person in my neighborhood? I make $3,300 a week. That's what I'm saying to myself. And I'm like, $3,300. He said, you only make $3,300 a week. I'm like, dude, there's nobody I ever met in my life that make $3,300 a week. I said, so I don't have to go home. I just wanted to get some clarity. I said, I don't have to go home. He said, no. That's how I got to the practice squad. And then, trust me, I put those cleats on my feet, and I told people for 14 years, as long as I had these cleats on my feet, I'm going to give them everything I got. And that's what I chose to do. I looked at the practice squad as an amazing accomplishment for me. I didn't look at it as if I was less than everybody else. I get a chance to work every single day with these cleats on my feet, and I can get better. Because I knew I wasn't a receiver. I was athletic.
He was elevating his game to be on that level of what Mike Pritchard was, what Anthony Miller was.
I could hone the skill if they just gave me some time, and the practice squad was a way for me to get some time.
Rod Smith has 3 of the most important ingredients for anybody, let alone a football player, and that's passion, number 1. He had a great passion for the game. He wanted to excel without a question about it. The second thing is character. He had an incredible character coming from a little small school. And the last thing is work ethic, and nobody worked any harder than Rod at the time. He is very special in all those categories, and you recognized it immediately with him.
You don't see many guys that go from a practice squad to having the kind of career that he did. That's special.
Elway gets time going deep for Rod Smith. He's out there. He's got it. Touchdown.
You know, the deep ball in the NFL is a highlight thing. You're going to catch way more short passes than deep passes, but when they get a chance to connect on a deep one, you got to make sure you come down with it. And for some reason in practice, I kept being like 1 yard short. Like it'd be right off the fingertips every time. And I remember Coach Heimerdinger, he came to me and told me, he said, hey, listen, I just got to be honest with you. You're probably going to get cut. He said, there's a knock on you that you can't catch the deep ball. You're not fast enough. The Chiefs told me that too, that I wasn't fast enough. I remember the guy telling me I wasn't fast enough. So the first thing I said is, what do I need to do? I just asked. I said, what do I need to do to get better at that? And we watched some tape, and he showed me how I was running when the balls come in with my shoulders open. And so therefore, I can't adjust to catch the ball. He said, you got to keep your shoulders square and run and just look up, and your peripherals, you can see the ball. He said, then you catch the ball here. Instead of opening up, it slows you down. And literally, he created this drill. He just throw the ball over my head and I had to run at the last second and catch it over and over and over and over and over and over, hundreds and hundreds of times. That he stayed out there with me after practice to help me develop that skill. I wasn't going to let that be the reason I couldn't be in the NFL. I wasn't overthrown too many more times after that.
After owner Pat Bowlen hired Mike Shanahan as the Broncos head coach, Rod once again found himself having to prove he belonged on the team.
I don't have a contract going into the next year. And then so I do sign back with the Broncos, and I got to figure out a way to make this 53-man roster. I don't want to be on the practice squad anymore. I had a little taste of what it's like. That next offseason, I was just literally honing my craft because remember, I wasn't a receiver, so I had to work on that skill set and special teams. I knew if I was going to make the team, it was going to be on special teams. I knew I had to return kicks and punts and do whatever I had to do, cover kicks. I never tackled anybody. I was a quarterback. I didn't tackle anybody, right? But I learned how to tackle. I remember I was hitting the wedge on the kickoff team. I didn't care. I tell people all the time, I don't play receiver, I play football. Whatever that means, that's what I play. This game is very, very difficult. It's difficult to get here, and it's even harder to stay. So with that, I literally poured everything I had into this craft, everything.
You know, and Rod caught my eye because he was really, like I said, a first-year player. He wasn't a rookie, but had real good, skills. I mean, when you watch him in practice, you can tell he ran really good routes, could catch the football, but he wasn't starting. He wasn't our starting wide receiver at the time.
Well, you could see that he's going to work harder than anybody else. He's going to do the little things to give him a chance to get to the next spot on the roster. And the more you got to know him, the better he got, the stronger he got. And, he was a very impressive guy right from the beginning.
When the Broncos traveled to Tokyo for the preseason American Bowl, Rod Smith and Terrell Davis found themselves in the land of the rising sun, trying to earn a roster spot.
Really, the play that kind of sticks out to me is the play in Tokyo where I made the hit. I was on kickoff coverage. Rod was on kickoff coverage, and
he's doing what I'm doing. He's trying to make the football team. He ain't TD that everybody knows right now. He's Terrell Davis trying to make the football team on special teams. Terrell Davis. I think he was the 5 on the kickoff team, and I was the 4. Had to get him lined up because he wasn't used to being out there, right?
I had been on kickoff coverage, at least with the Broncos, so I didn't know exactly what position and what I had to do. So, Rod was put me in my place and was like, hey, you line up here and just go down there and make the tackle.
And we're running down, and I remember Tyrone Draper getting the kick. I slipped my block, and I got an angle, and I'm like, okay, he's here, he's got to go to here. And I got an angle, and I'm beelining in on him. And all of a sudden, dude just get wiped off the screen, and TD blew him up.
When I watched the film, I'm pretty far ahead of everybody. and the person who's closest to me is Rod. And we talked about that play after I made the play. Rod was like, man, I thought I was going to make that play.
And you'll see on the tape, I was number 19 at the time, and I'm jumping up and down and high-fiving with him. Never saw TD on special teams ever again after that.
That was the beginning of a really successful career for me. But then after that, Rod and I, we just became really good friends.
The guy who's the MVP of the game got cut. He was the receiver. And it was between him and me. And in my mind, it was between him and me. You know what he didn't do? He didn't play special teams. He played receiver. I played football. I covered the kicks. He didn't cover kicks. As a matter of fact, on those kickoffs, he jogged down.
And I ended up starting my first year, and Rod wasn't a starter, but he was getting some play.
Well, if you ever around Terrell Davis or Rod Smith, they're two of the best guys you could possibly be around. Personalities, charisma, they got everything that you ask for in a person. And they both had so much talent as well. So they were the perfect leaders to have for our football team for years to come.
Coming up, Rod Smith makes the team and makes the most of his first career reception.
We now return to Rod Smith, Catching Greatness, presented by Children's Hospital of Colorado.
Rod's first opportunity to prove himself came in Week 3. The Washington secondary had put most of the Broncos' starting receivers on the sidelines, but John Elway mounted a fourth-quarter drive.
We're in a battle. I mean, this is a game we're going back and forth with them. It's a pretty high-scoring game.
James Washington was the safety for the Redskins. He knocked all of our receivers out. And I have to go in the game because we ain't got no receivers.
Then we're going to go to overtime. We are going to overtime. This is just one more play before then.
Hey, that's it. We need it in there. We need to get it in the end zone, all right? Just keep your hands in on the stick. Mark up when you left. 8 right, 271, X6 wide look. You know, be ready, Rod. Rod Smith.
I'm taking a look and I'm saying, which side is John going to go on? Because Darryl Green is against Rod Smith. Darryl Green, is the fastest man in the NFL, and he's got speed, and it's 1-on-1.
It'll be 4th down and 10. Either throw to the end zone. You let everything happen in front of you. They won't be able to stop the clock. Elway firing to Smith. Broncos win it. Unbelievable. What a throw. What a catch. Rod Smith forced into the game with injuries to the Broncos receivers with a miracle catch.
The first catch of his career, Rod just goes up, and I'm sure, Darryl Green didn't know who Rod Smith was at the time. He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna cover this guy. But man, Rod had the hops.
You'll see me glance up like, oh snap, he threw the ball. And then I kind of position myself, in front of Darryl Green, like basketball. I played basketball in the hood. You got to box him out. So I kind of boxed him out and gave myself a chance. And I remember the ball hitting my hands, and when I tucked and I fell in the end zone, I just saw paint. And I knew if I saw the paint, I was in the end zone.
And you see a playmaker. Man, you see that was the beginning of this guy who had a very successful career with the Broncos, Hall of Fame career, in my opinion. But those were the kind of plays that you saw Rod make.
You know that in order to make that throw, John had to have some confidence in this young guy.
It was complete silence until I got off the ground, and the crowd is roaring, and I'm turning around, and all of a sudden the whole team is running at me. And they hit me, and they knocked me on the ground, and the ball is buried in my chest. And I just, you're looking up at the bottom of the pile. You see guys diving on the pile. When I'm at the bottom of the pile, the football is crushing my chest. I barely can breathe. It was like the craziest thing.
Little did we know how significant he would be as a wide receiver for us.
What a great catcher. Everybody was so excited, and what a way to start your NFL career.
That was amazing.
I didn't catch another pass for 7 weeks after that. So my moment was there for the moment. And the best thing is we won.
Smith's 95 season ended with 6 receptions and 152 yards. He battled hard for a starting spot on the 96 roster. However, a broken collarbone in the preseason sidelined him for the first 6 games. When the Broncos traveled to Oakland to face the Raiders, looking to improve to 8-1, Rod once again rose to the occasion.
Oakland up by 5. Elway, pump fake. He's wide open. Wide open is Rod Smith for the touchdown.
I don't know anyone that had more heart, that had more, consistency in his game. I mean, he was so extremely reliable and talented and really fun to watch.
He was there to answer the call and help his teammates out.
And you played in that type of atmosphere, you had to be ready, because if you weren't ready, you could be embarrassed very quickly. But Rod did so many things the right way. It didn't surprise me that when he got his opportunity, he took advantage of it.
The 96 Broncos were on a roll, finishing the season 13-3. But a first-round playoff matchup against the Jacksonville Jaguars ended their hopes for a Super Bowl.
Everybody talking about them being an expansion team, and we're playing them in our first round of the playoffs because we had home field advantage. Honestly, we let our guard down. And they took advantage of it. They made the plays when they had to make those plays. It lets you know just how small of a margin winning is. That offseason was a very somber offseason, very quiet offseason. We added some pieces that we needed. We got rid of some pieces that we need to get rid of. That was my first year starting, was coming back the next year. And we switched the standard and the culture of the Broncos the very next year. Like that quick, it switched because there was a lot of guys left who felt that pain from the previous year.
When you do turn a culture around, you have to have people like Rod Smith I want this guy to be my starter. I want him to be the guy that's going to lead our football team. And he had the backing by everybody. And the one thing about players, they know the real people. And they knew that he would be the best blocker. He'd be the best receiver. They know he would be the guy that would be the guy that you could count on in the toughest situations. And that's why he played his career.
To see the fruits of his labor, I don't think anybody was surprised because we knew how hard he worked. And, Mike certainly had the confidence in him. He got rid of some great receivers in order for Rod Smith to be the starter.
I knew they depended on me. They counted on me. Coach had gave up some big names, big salaries for me. And I owed him that. I owed him everything I had.
When I had to make a decision, I said it was an easy decision because, at that time, their salary cap, you're dealing with a lot of money.
You can look at it and say, all right, this dude, we can win with him. We know he's going to continue to grow. We know he's listening. We know that he loves to practice. He loves the game.
He was a great role model for the younger guys that were on the team.
He knew that every time he was out there, he had to prove to everybody that he's going to hustle on every play. When he did get his opportunity, it was because of how he practiced and how consistent he was on a day-to-day basis.
So that was my mentality. That was my approach. Because I didn't know how it was going to shake out. I'm a starter with John Elway and TD and Sharp and these guys. I'm in a huddle with them every time. I'm with the ones. A lot of guys like to hear when they say ones up, you love to hear that. And you want to keep that. And me, I have to go earn that right to keep that. And I got to go and do everything I can to make sure I earn their respect as a starter.
The players ran the team. They knew what the rules were. They knew what type of preparation we had to have. They knew what we had to do, every week. And those guys would make sure that the scout team was doing what they were supposed to do. Their partners were doing what they were supposed to be doing. And on game day, that standard would not change. And when you got guys, I could go through 15 guys. I'm just going, oh my God. These players they took over the team. It's fun to watch.
We played extremely hard. But it was a switch. When we went across those lines together, it switched. Like, it was nothing you wouldn't do for the next guy. And they knew it. And other teams knew it.
You a little scared? Yeah, you look a little scared.
I'm scared of what we're going to do to them other than...
Coming up, with a chip on their shoulders, the 97 Broncos and Rod Smith are poised to dominate the NFL. Welcome back to Rod Smith Catching Greatness.
1, 2, 3, 4.
With a new focus and determination, the Broncos got off to a fast start, winning their first 6 games en route to a 12-4 record. Rod settled into his new role as a starter and contributed 70 catches for 1,180 yards and 12 touchdowns. However, the rushing game was the centerpiece of the high-powered Denver offense. When the ball was in the hands of Terrell Davis, Rod made sure he was clearing the way for TD to break off big runs.
If we don't have Rod on our team in, the entire season in Super Bowl 32, I don't know if we win that. Every piece that we had was important to our team. And I don't know if you take one piece and you take Rod out of the equation, it affects our entire team. And Rod's contribution to our team that entire year helped the run game. It helped Ed McCaffrey. It helped Shannon. It helped John. It helped everybody.
And you start looking, you're saying, okay, how many rushing touchdowns do we have during that season? We set a record for rushing touchdowns, and Rod was a big part of that.
People always say, yeah, you had a good offensive line. I said, yeah, I had a good line. I said, but we had really good receivers, which to me is the most important part because the line can only get you so far. The receivers are the ones that are allowed to get those big runs because they have to block safeties, they have to block corners, sometimes linebackers. And if you have all of those guys involved in the run game, that's the only way it works.
You don't see anybody getting down and getting dirty. It was the best joy ever blocking for him and watching number 30 run past me. That means my guy didn't make the tackle. He made my career. He made my career better, being able to block for a guy like that.
The Broncos entered the playoffs as a wild card, this time blowing past Jacksonville and getting the best of the Kansas City Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers before facing the defending champion Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl 32.
I remember us being at the first Super Bowl and, all the reporters asking you all these questions. well, you know, the Broncos lost 3 Super Bowls and blah, blah, blah. I said, I wasn't on their team. I don't know nothing about that. I said, all I know is this is my first Super Bowl, and we plan on coming out here 1-0. We were focused on bringing the title back to Denver for the first time.
We had a team of unselfish players. And I'm going to keep saying that. That's just a word that it keeps coming up because that's what it takes. You can't have a me guy. It's got to be a we guy. And whatever we asked of Rod, if we went to a game and he caught no balls, he had the same mentality as if he caught 12 balls. And I was the same way. If I ran the ball 32 times, whether I ran it 5, as long as we won the game, that's all we cared about.
Super Bowl 32, not catching a pass and us winning the Super Bowl, that was one of the biggest moments of my life. And some people like, but you didn't catch a pass. So my ring's the same size as John's. Same size as Terrell, same size as Sharp, same size as Crockett and my other boys, Atwater and Zimmerman, and, Tommy Nalen. My ring's the same size as theirs. It was about team. That's my whole life has been about us, never me.
In Rod's own words, we won the Super Bowl. And I blocked for Terrell Davis. And he was the MVP. That was the greatest game of my life. Rod was all about the team and other people.
We run the football 39 times in that game, and we needed to because they had a great defense. And Rod was the key in blocking the safeties and the corners and the guys you had blocked to have big plays. And we got a lot of yards that game. The big part of it was because of Rod Smith and Ed McCaffrey. They decided, hey, we might not both get one pass, but we're gonna make sure TD has a great day, which he did.
John's helicopter play. When we needed, first down, John 30 plus years old, and you see him dive head first, and it's one of the iconic plays in sports history to this day. And to be a part of that and watch it was, for me, was amazing. But it was just the way we were used to overcoming things. And the previous year set us back, but it made us focus and learn to not take for granted the moment. You saw it individually with plays that were made, Steve Atwater knocking everybody out in the game on defense. It was so many different areas in our game that got us to the point where we were champions.
I felt bad in the Super Bowl that, he didn't catch a ball. Because, are you kidding me? That's the best game I think I played. He said, I blocked my rear end off, and he said, my catch will come. And they did, yeah.
Coming up, Rod and the world champion Broncos set their sights on a repeat performance.
We now return to Rod Smith, Catching Greatness, presented by Children's Hospital of Colorado.
Denver returned in 1998 with their sights set on back-to-back Super Bowl championships. Rod had his most productive season yet, racking up more than 1,200 yards and 86 receptions. The Broncos rolled through their opponents in dominant fashion, winning their first 13 games and ending the season 14-2. Terrell Davis ran for 2,008 yards that year on his way to a league MVP and his third straight AFC rushing title. As expected, Rod Smith, the ultimate teammate, was proud of the contributions he made to TD's historic accomplishments.
When he got 2,000 yards, to be a part of that, him needing like 180 yards going into the game, some crazy number, and everybody just knuckled up and said, he's getting these yards. And as it got closer, we got more energized, and that was the way we were. If it was a chance for one of our guys to take down a record or to hit a milestone, we was gonna make sure they did it.
Rod was that player that he played hard for everybody. And I know that to be able to go out there and not only run routes full speed when, even if he's running ghost routes, but then to put your head in there and block for a guy. And, he was a guy that didn't really care if he got the credit for doing something, and that to me is huge.
TD was one of the best blocking backs ever in the pass protection. And so I couldn't have had the career I had if he wouldn't do what he did, and so it was vice versa.
The Broncos posted a decisive 38-3 victory over Miami in the divisional playoffs and overcame a 10-point deficit in the AFC Championship to beat the Jets before moving on to face the Atlanta Falcons in Super Bowl 33.
They didn't stand a chance, just being real. We were still pissed off from 2 years ago at everybody and anybody. You go back to back, you're in an elite group. There's only, I think, 7 or 8 teams that's ever done it now, even today. And we wanted to be one of those teams. We wanted to leave our mark. My thing is I want to catch. Can I just get one catch, right?
I want to go near left with a C counter motion. Thing 19 hand quarterback keep pass right X post. Oh, it's going to be wide open. It is going to be wide open.
Red 28! Red 28!
Come on.
Elway boots and rolls to his right, stops, loads it up, throws down deep the middle of the field. Rod Smith's got it. Here we go. 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Rod Smith, Denver touchdown. 80 yards for John Elway.
I just remember going to John, and I'm seeing the free safety jump the crossing route. And I said, hey, John, there's no way. All Rod's going to do is get a little stutter at the top of his route. He'll go to the post. There won't be anybody there. You know, that sounds good. Now, everybody's going to be perfect. Your offensive line's got to do a great job. Quarterback's going to make a great fake. John had great protection. And so it was one of those things that, you know, an 80-yard touchdown, pretty impressive. So it was probably everybody in that play.
For Rod to make it happen and John to put the ball right on the money, it was a clutch play. You know, we needed that.
Well, I told him, I said, hey, you're going to be wide open. Don't drop it. Just trying to loosen the moment. He looked at me like, I can't believe you said that. And after I said, that might be the dumbest thing you ever did. So you never know.
Mike knew that play was going to be a touchdown. We all knew that was going to be a touchdown. We knew it. And so I was happy for Rod, man, to set the tone, open up that game and play big like that. And so it was fun to see him be able to have his moment.
Even though it looked like I got the highlight, John got the highlight for throwing a great pass and, you know, me getting an 80-yard touchdown. It was about us as a team. Kubiak, you know, seeing the safety and Coach Shanahan having the courage to trust us as a group to call the play.
You know, they always said that Rod wasn't fast enough, right? He was fast enough to go all the way into the end zone on that play.
This time, Rod Smith finished the Super Bowl with 5 receptions for 152 yards and one of the longest touchdowns in Super Bowl history.
Winning back-to-back was sweet. I think it took a lot of weight off John's shoulders as one of the best quarterbacks ever to play the game, to lead his team to back-to-back Super Bowls. I think it really took a lot of weight off his shoulders, and he left his mark right here for me, just the way he approached the game and what he did, and was just a tremendous leader. And so I tried to learn as much from him as I could.
John Elway announced his retirement shortly after Super Bowl 33, and although it was the end of an era, Rod Smith's most productive seasons were still to come.
Greasy protected well, going for 6, caught by Smith, touchdown.
Brian Greasy took the reins as the Broncos quarterback in 1999. For the third straight season, Rod gained over 1,000 yards, despite the Broncos finishing at 6-10.
Do I want the stats? Absolutely. Do I want every ball to come to me? Absolutely. Yards, catches, touchdown, do I want it? Absolutely. In context of us winning the game, I don't want them in lieu of us winning the game. I want us to win the game.
Ryan Greasy taking a look downfield. Throws it out beautifully, and Rod Smith is on the run. He's going to go the distance. Rod Smith is going to take it all the way down and go into the end zone on a spectacular play, a 65-yard scoring play.
The following year, Smith set a Broncos record with 1,602 receiving yards, a mark that wouldn't be broken until 2014 by Demaryius Thomas. That same year, Rod and Ed McCaffrey became only the second receiving duo in NFL history to catch 100 passes each.
The records are important because that means you produced. A lot of the catches, yards, and touchdowns I had were coming when we didn't have as good of a team. You know, so it's a catch-22. What I always wanted to be was a great teammate. I wanted guys to say, this guy made an impact on me when I worked with him. That's what I wanted.
Greasy down the sideline. Touchdown. Not a bad way to get your 300th career NFL catch.
With Greasy as his quarterback, Smith was selected to the Pro Bowl in 2000 and 2001. He had 6 consecutive seasons with 1,000 receiving yards from 1997 to 2002.
All my moments have a lot of guys involved. They really do, especially my Denver Bronco moments. It was never about me. I remember one thing that was cool was when I lined up at tailback and I had a 50-yard touchdown against Seattle. So I tell TD I did his job all the time.
Breaks it. Here comes Smith with the seed. Rod Smith to the corner. Touchdown, Denver. 50 yards. Wow.
But on that play, I saw Eddie get a great block. I saw Mac Anderson get a key block. I saw Matt Lepsis get a key block. But those types of moments were individual to me. But I remember every guy who did their job. That's just the way I was. I was really about us. It was always about us. It was never about me.
Coming up, Rod Smith continues to focus on the team and the community as he matures into a veteran in the locker room. Welcome back to Rod Smith Catching Greatness. In 2004, Rod Smith was a finalist for the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award for his work and leadership off the field.
When I was younger, you hear all the stories about, guys who are athletes saying, well, I'm not a role model. Well, I wanted to be. I personally wanted to be a role model. I wanted them to be able to look at me and say, well, he grew up over here. If he did it, I can do it.
Rod was once again selected for the Pro Bowl in 2005, this time catching passes from Jake Plummer.
He didn't look the part, he wasn't this big, huge, speedy, fast, specimen. But when I got here, I realized what it was, and I realized why he was Rod Smith. And it was awesome to come here and just go, wow, okay, this guy does not drop the ball ever.
There's the boot. Plummer pumps once, now throws deep. He wants Smith. Rod's there. Rod's got it. Foot race. 40, 35, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. That is a Denver touchdown. 85 yards in near blizzard-like conditions.
I wanted them to say Rod Smith and the Denver Broncos. They never did. That's what I wanted them to say. And I never got that because it was always John Elway in the Denver Broncos. Then it was Terrell Davis in the Denver Broncos. And then it was Clinton Portis in the Denver Broncos. It was Jake Plummer in the Denver Broncos. And it was never Rod Smith in the Denver Broncos. And I wanted him to say that because that meant they respected me for what I did.
He was always motivated to get better.
It's not about pubbing me. It's about pubbing the work that I did put in because it was a tough road.
To me, as a former wide receiver, I look to guys that are productive and accountable and tough-minded, and will go in the middle of the field when you're going to get lit up and make the catch. There's a mental toughness to doing that.
He went to work and he continued to work throughout his entire career and had an amazing career.
I'm going to give it to you, what I got, and I'm okay with the scoreboard not being on my side, but I'm not okay without putting in the effort.
He's just, to me, always been a really good example for what a Denver Bronco should look like and how a Denver Bronco should conduct himself.
Throughout his career, Rod Smith embodied hard work and commitment. He led by example on and off the field, both in his dedication to the sport and his personal life.
To this day, he wants to be successful in anything that he touches.
If you need a little bit of motivation, you're out there, you're feeling a little down. Guess what? You look over and you see Rod full speed running sprints. So okay, this is what we got to do.
Rod wasn't drafted, so Rod knew, hey, I've got to do all the little things, how he ran routes. He developed into really an outstanding leader.
During the offseason, we have our offseason workouts. It's not mandatory, it's voluntary. And for a number of years, Rod had 100% attendance.
He didn't miss one workout in all his years with the Denver Broncos. I've never seen that happen with anybody. Not one off-season workout.
I think I went to 600 and some voluntary workouts in a row.
Kind of set the tone for who he was. And so that's a legacy in itself. So it just didn't happen. He made it happen.
You look at his work ethic, I think that Rod probably had the best work ethic of maybe anyone on that team at that time.
Because I knew one day I wasn't going to be able to do it anymore. So I didn't want to look back and say, if I just went to practice that one day. So that's just the way I'm wired.
In 2006, Rod suffered a hip injury that required a complete hip replacement.
When you play in the NFL, you're going to be injured. I mean, hopefully you just get hurt. People don't realize you're hurt the whole season. Injured means you're going to miss some time.
The hip injury that Rod had was, as any injury, was very devastating. For a wide receiver who cuts and plants and, it just complicates everything. And I think ultimately became degenerative and ended up, getting him in the end.
That was from a lot of stopping and starting and falling on the ground.
He wasn't able to be out there on the practice field a lot with us. And you could see the pain that he was in, but he was just the ultimate teammate, always helping the younger guys, always trying to talk to not just the wide receivers, but anyone, and trying to make sure they got on the right path.
Thank God it was at the end of my career, so I got 13 good ones in, and I left everything I had out there.
In 2008, he announced his retirement from the NFL.
I just knew it was over because physically the body couldn't recover the way I needed to recover. But like I said, I'm glad it happened when it did versus early.
Jake steps in the pocket, plenty of time, pumps, now runs to the left, spills, throws, back in the end zone, touchdown! Touchdown, Rod Smith! And Rod Smith, his 56th career touchdown as a Bronco. That makes him number one in that category in club history.
Rod Smith was the first undrafted player to reach 10,000 receiving yards, and to this day, he has the most receiving yards of any undrafted player in NFL history. His 68 touchdown catches are also the most of any undrafted player. Smith still holds Broncos records in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdown catches, as well as the franchise record for receptions in a season. In 2012, Rod's stellar career was acknowledged when he was inducted into the Denver Broncos Ring of Fame.
Guys, you know what? You just got to have belief. You got to believe in yourself, even when other people don't believe. You got to believe in yourself.
He was a free agent, a college free agent. He came in here and worked his tail off and became one of the best wide receivers that ever played this game. And I believe Rod Smith belongs in the Pro Football Hall of Fame as well.
He was never complacent, right? And that's what made him so great, because he never reached his ceiling. He just kept going, and he kept breaking ceilings and just like shattering records.
If you look at how he just played the wide receiver position, he played it the right way. Whether it was blocking all game for Terrell Davis and all the other great running backs, he could flat out do it all. Route running, getting over top, tough as nails. And he played some of his best football in the biggest moments. And to me, that's a Hall of Famer.
He was an all-around great wide receiver. And I think if the committee can move past the idea that, well, he's only got 800 and some odd catches, if they can look at the overall body of work of what he did and look at it in the time frame of other receivers that played during that time, I think Rod's credentials are every bit as good as anybody else that gets in during that time.
An undrafted free agent to arguably the greatest receiver in Broncos history. That's legacy enough. But those who know Rod Smith know that while he was an amazing football player, it was his unrelenting spirit that defined his greatness.
He's an amazing human being. I'm lucky to know him now, to have met him, to have built our relationship over the 20, 30-something years. I'm really fortunate that Rod came into my life.
To me, part of life is dealing with adversity. And Rod did that through his life. And he didn't take it as a negative. He took it as a positive and went to the next level.
I think the average person can learn from Rod. Be resilient. Never listen to what other people are telling you about your future.
I came into the Broncos with a surgically repaired knee. The doctor told me I would never play football again when I was in college. And I looked him in the eye and I told him, I said, I promise you, I will play again. I said, if I just play backyard football with my kids, I will play football again.
He didn't have the advantage of somebody saying, Rod, I'm going to take you under my wing and I'm going to make you somebody. Rod signed as a free agent and he made himself somebody.
There's a whole bunch of people who coached, guided, and led me to this spot. And I want to do that for other people.
He's a guy who, once you're a friend forever.
Rod's just got a good heart. He's just a good heart.
I've enjoyed getting to know him over the years. Just the way he's always handled himself away from playing the game of football.
It wasn't easy starting at the very, very bottom as a player in the organization is the practice squad. That's the lowest form you can get. And then to climb all the way up to the top, you know, having my statue sitting outside out there, that's amazing to me. When I come by, I look at it and I'm still surreal to me that you can start wherever you start, but how do you finish is the key.
For a reason.
This special presentation of Rod Smith Catching Greatness was presented by Children's Hospital of Colorado.